Comes home and he's hungry, would you wake up and make him a meal?
No.
Hell no, he can
Be
buy
independent. Be independent.
No, he makes me a meal. What the f***?
I didn't hear your answer.
I mean, I'm happily married. I'd make him a meal.
You'd make it?
Thanks, man. No, take it back. I'll make the meal. I'll make the meal.
2 divorces.
Kids?
Yes.
How many kids?
3.
From how many fathers?
2. So I have 2 to my first marriage and then 1 from a guy I dated in high school.
And then question the 2 divorces. Who initiated them?
I did for both.
Briefly, what was the reason for the first one?
The first one, he was kind of manipulative and controlled.
Really quickly, how was he controlling?
I couldn't spend any money. I had to get permission to spend anything. I didn't work. I stayed at home. I had to cook. I had to clean. If I didn't have dinner ready when he expected it to be ready, he would be upset.
Okay, and you stayed home and he provided everything?
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have dinner ready when he got home?
Well, I had to maintain 2 small children.
Did you have friends that you were allowed to go see?
His friends kind of became my friends. And one of our friends, and this is going to sound bad, who ended up being my second husband, stopped coming to our house because he said he didn't like the way he talked to me. And
Wait, so you started dating one of your buddy's good friends?
I know I'm not a good person.
Yeah, that's
like
bad.
I'm a bag. That's okay.
Wait, what?
She started banging her boyfriend's best friend.
No, they weren't best friends.
Well, they were close enough.
Let's get this straight. They were not best friends.
Maybe not anymore, they're not.
Truth.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'3".
How much do you weigh?
That's none of your business. I told you I was fat.
Oh, okay. We don't play that shit on my channel. You get your big fat ass on somewhere then. God damn! I don't deal with you big sassy ass broads. Where would you rank yourself on the marketplace?
8.
Out of what, 100?
Okay, what is it? What we rating from 1 to 10?
If you, yeah.
Okay, 9.
God damn! Okay, have a good day. If you had to rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10 and you can't use 7, face only, no hair extensions, your natural hair, your natural face, what would you give yourself?
Interesting. 8.
Nope.
No?
No.
Okay, so if I wanted a high value man, what do I do?
Be reincarnated. You can't get one. I'm gonna be honest, you can't.
I have a master's in public administration, and I have a law degree.
How tall are you?
5'9".
Dress size?
16.
You didn't choose to be single.
I'm sorry?
Do you have any kids?
No kids. My ex had 4, so I'm trying to, that's kind of a big number. Oh my God.
Why'd you pop?
I know it's an unpopular opinion, but me, I typically don't like dating men without children, especially after a certain age. I just think it's weird, you know, and I have a child and I love children and God only gave me one, so I want to be with someone who has children. I've never dated a man that didn't have children. And it's a deal breaker than the average woman.
Gotcha.
So a man without children is weird to you?
After a certain age, yeah. I feel like after a certain age, you don't have no children. It's just strange to me. You know, like nobody owed you. Nobody took them genetics, you know, like I think it's strange, you know, so it's a personal preference.
Okay. And why'd you pop your balloon?
As she talked a little more, I thought about the fact that I don't want any other kids and I do only have one kid. So I think I would rather someone who had a kid already just because I don't want to have any more. And I wouldn't want to date anybody who didn't have kids because they probably want kids.
Gotcha.
Okay.
4 kids. Did you always knew you wanted a big family?
No. So I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be career girl and that's it. And I had my eyes set on my goals. And I was never the little girl that like dreamt about the wedding dress and all of that. And then it happened so early in my life. So it's like, it's one of those things like you don't know what you actually don't know what you want.
It's so hard also to be the woman in a situation where you're like, men just don't get as much scrutiny. Like they can maybe tell him like, your fucking shots suck tonight, but like the looks and all of that is just like not a factor of conversation as much.
No.
Did you talk to Steph about it? Like, or did you kind of keep it within yourself so it didn't?
What pisses me off is the discourse around how women only go for the top 15% of men. Like, am I supposed to be going for the fat loser who doesn't have a job and lives at home? Am I supposed to be attracted to that? Obviously, I'm going to be attracted to the guy who's ambitious, the guy who's manly, the guy who takes care of himself and his health and works out, the guy who's tall, the guy who's going to give my kids good genetics. Why on earth would I be attracted to the fat loser? Or any loser for that matter. Even an average guy, like why, if I could pick the best of the best, why would I be attracted to the mid-tier? Like, hello. Especially if I'm a top quality girl. What happened to earning your place in this world? You're gonna be a loser in this life and then expect people to want you? Like, that's just common sense that that's not going to happen. Like, if I was fat and ugly, I would not be surprised that men are not going for me and instead they want the girls who are fit and beautiful. Like, I didn't earn to be on their level. I didn't earn to be wanted like that. So maybe instead of complaining that women only want the top 15%, work on becoming top 15% or somewhere near that number instead of sitting at home being a loser, trying to be a little victim.
My grandma says there are only two things in life that you worry about, whether you're healthy or whether you're sick. If you're healthy, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you're sick, you got two things to worry about. Whether you're going to get better, whether you're going to get worse. You get better, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you get worse, you got two things to worry about. Whether you're going to live, whether you're going to die. If you live, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you die, you got two things. Whether you're going to heaven, whether you're going to hell. If you go to heaven, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you go to hell, you got two things to worry about. Original or extra crispy?
All right, what's up, guys? Hope you guys are doing well, man. Shout out to you guys for always supporting your boy. We're about to cook. We're about to get in here and get ready and get busy. All right, so like the videos are coming in. Support your boy. Drop a super chat. Like the video. Share the video. Comment down below. You know, let me know what's up in the chat. So let's get busy. Let's get serious. And we're gonna go all the way to room 9 with Anton Daniels. All right, and this is when Mika was still on the show. If you guys know Mika and Anton Daniels.
Right, which is why I keep telling women to shut up, essentially, because they are making it harder because you're essentially saying you want to be a man, right? And then when the men give you what you want, then you say, well, men aren't being men. That's because you're the man.
Yeah.
You can't tell them that, though. You can't convince them that.
What you say, Molly?
No, I was just saying you can't convince those kinds of women that, though, that you can't have it both ways. You know, you want a man, or you want a girlfriend.
But I hear
roommate.
women saying that
I'm
they
about to say,
want-
really, that's a roommate, and
It's
that's
a roommate.
that's a lot of stress on a relationship. I don't know, just
That's why these women are worn out when they want to break away from their relationship and be a hot girl because they
think
want to be provided for.
If you truly want to go 50-50 without any kind of pushback, then just don't move in together. You just don't move in together, and that way y'all not split nothing. She living whatever life that she was living, you living whatever life that you living. I think that once you move in together, then you have to start. Then that's when it starts to get a little bit more. If you're a person that got this mindset to where, hey, I need to go or I want to equalize, that's where it's going to become a problem.
Even when
Mika's so bothered by this.
Because I can't see it. I don't see it working because it's always like a struggle. Like, it's not that women can't work, but if you're depending on it, it's gonna feel, you're gonna feel some type of way as a woman. I don't care what women say. They can say, "Oh, I don't mind, contributing to the household," but when he can't make it without your money, you do
A lot
feel
of
some
these
kind
men
of way.
can't.
You do. So, like I said, my dad always said men should be able to afford their own lifestyle. Like, if she goes away, she dies, anything, you should be able to afford that house, that apartment, that efficiency, whatever you got.
I don't even need no life insurance on my chick. Honest to God, that's like a waste. Don't make no sense because I don't need no money from you. So I don't know. It's interesting because I think that people talk about 50-50 all the time, but I don't think that people really deep dive into it to have a conversation of what that's supposed to look like.
Yeah, but men only talk about 50-50 because women scream independence. That's the only reason men talk about 50-50. And another reason men talk about 50-50 is because women say they don't want to be traditional women anymore. So a man does the math and thinks about the fact that, how do you still want me to pay all your bills and be traditional, yet you are not living a traditional lifestyle of a woman, and you still want to go out there and work. You don't want to stay home. You don't want to cook me a meal, but you still want me to be traditional. So what has happened is that men have caught up. Men have woken up pretty much. But because men have woken up, women don't like it. So as a man, if you try to say, I'm going to go 50-50 with a woman, most women are going to call you gay. They're going to call you sassy. They're going to call you broke. They're going to insult you, use all types of shaming language. But pretty much it's because they would rather men don't speak up, and they would rather men don't wake up, and men don't question why they should be traditional in 2026 while women are not traditional anymore.
Looks like the divorce rate being what it is because these women are working and expected to still be traditional.
I don't know if a woman is willing to quit her job for a guy anyway, though.
They want to.
I don't think that women today trust men enough to quit their job if they was to get into a relationship with a guy that was like a high or a decent earner. You ain't got to be a high earner, but a decent earner for whatever it is that your lifestyle is.
And does she really have to quit though? I mean, because I don't think that it's necessary for you to have to quit unless you're going to raise a family, or you just start helping him. But I would think that you would now start putting the money that you're making into the pot, like here.
I don't think that most women be wanting to work like that, though, Carrie, is what I'm saying. I think that most women don't like their jobs. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, they may not like their jobs, but they look at, it's funny how they see it, but most women believe staying home, cooking and cleaning and raising their kids is slavery compared to waking up every morning and having to go to punch in for a boss. Punching in for a boss is not slavery because apparently they're being paid, but staying home with their own kids and cooking a meal for their man is slavery. So I disagree with Anton Daniels. I believe most women would rather go work. They don't want to be traditional and stay home, even if the man makes the money.
I
don't think it's so much about the money. I think it's more or less about they don't want to deal with the shit that they got to deal with going to work every day. I don't think that they like getting up at the time that they got to get up, dealing with the people that they got to deal with. A lot of women don't like the fact that they have to deal with the shit they got to deal with going to work.
I disagree.
So then,
I disagree. If that was the case, most women would literally be dying to be traditional women to stay home. But anytime, even when they find a man who's rich and can pay all their bills, they still scream, "I want to be independent and go to work. I still want to have a job. I want to have a career." Because remember, most of these women have taken on student loan debt. They have degrees. So they think about the fact that, okay, why did I go to school all these years for me to waste my career? So they think about the fact that I don't want to waste my degree. I have to go to work, even if they have a rich man who pays for everything. Now, later on, I'm talking maybe when they hit 45 and 50 and they're tired of clocking in, okay, maybe they may not want to keep working. But in the beginning, in the early years, 30, 40, 50, they still want to work. They don't want to be traditional.
and you think if they don't like it and they get with a guy and they have the option to quit, they wouldn't quit purely because they would be quitting to be with him?
I think that they want to. I don't think that they feel as though, well, I don't think that they feel enough secure in a relationship to where they would, because why wouldn't they quit if they did?
I got a question.
Go ahead, Sonny.
What do women want?
Everything.
Everything.
Which kind of women? Women aren't all the same.
Don't start that.
I'm just being honest. What kind of women?
No. There is no what.
I mean, you can't ask the question and then
this is how y'all do me. No, this is how y'all do me. Just answer that damn question.
Women are there?
Just answer that damn question as who you are.
Okay,
Answer that
cool.
question as who
No.
you are.
No, that's fair. So we got to answer the question, and then can we give the context after we answer?
Of course. Always give context. Always, please.
Yeah, okay, that's fair, Sonny. I have no problem with that. Mika, you want to go?
They want everything.
Oh, sure. Women want no stress, security, and protection. That's it.
That's not
now
it.
we have different ways of thought.
Come on, Mika. You know that's not it. Women want more than that. They want protection. They want security. They want a therapist. They want their man to be their girlfriend at the same time. They want a man with a long dick. They want a man who doesn't tell them what to do. They want a man who's not going to ask them to cook. They want a man who's going to take them on 5 trips. They want a man who's not going to control where she goes, how she dresses. They want it all, pretty much.
Ideas of how to get to it. As what we're talking about, like you got your liberal chicks that think they can coerce a man into doing certain things and they'll get something. And then you have traditional women, and then you have women in the middle, but they all want the same thing because it's what's innate in us.
Do you feel like women are the more stressful party of the relationship or men?
Well, I think men and women have different types of stress, which is the reason why women shouldn't be.
Yeah, but you gotta answer his question. Okay, men and women have different kinds of stress in the relationship, but he's asking whose stress is worse. That's it. Come on, Mika. Come on.
Women can't do all that working because men, y'all are built for that, right? Y'all are built to take on that type of stress. Women, we're not. That's why most of us, if we get those type of jobs, we'll just quit. Because that type of stress isn't something that
we're these jobs for a long time. Huh? I don't know what women you talk about. They be working these jobs for a long time.
No, they don't. They be working the least. Most of them, especially here in the DMV, most of them work government jobs where they do absolutely nothing. So yeah, for 20 years you can do a job where you don't even come to work half of the time because you're taking off.
So basically, they got rid of DEI because of women.
Correct. Most of the women here in the DMV are employed by the government. All those layoffs that you see, especially in this area, are women who work for the government. You don't do anything. You absolutely don't do anything. So they'll find the job with the least amount of work. Like you never see any women like going to sign up for an oil rig or working in the sewers or doing power lines. I'm sure it's one or two, but that's not something in a big field. They'll do something clerical, something that requires the least amount of brain cells, usually.
I mean, they want easy jobs, that's for sure, but they still want their jobs. My disagreement is that women still want to work. because as long as a woman is working, the man cannot force her to be traditional. So she wants the man to be traditional. We already know that. They still, even if they're not traditional, she wants the man to be traditional. But the moment she quits her job, and then let's say she stays, because if she's working, no man is expecting her woman. No man is expecting his woman to cook a meal if she had to go do a 9 to 5. So if they both come home from work, they're both tired. No man is going to shout, "How dare you not have dinner ready for me when I'm from work?" Because she went to work just the same way you did. Even if you're paying 100% of the bills, you let her work so she can't stay home. So you can't expect her to have dinner ready for you. So women know that. So what do? Instead of staying home and being the slave for you, they just gonna go punching, clocking into work and get paid and save their money. That's why I say they use their jobs as a way of not being traditional women.
And the ones that are like the bulldogs that want to really be like men and attorney, like the attorney field and things like that, and they're actually like really good in that field, they never really have, most of them, majority of them, never really have families. They either have them later or they don't have them at all.
Yeah, jobs are incentivizing women to freeze their eggs so they could pick work over families. Like, just go ahead and have that baby when you're 40, girl, so you could work for us until then. I think that's absurd.
What do you want, Molly?
That was actually a smart move. Because think about it. If women have to work, the government gets more taxes. That's number one. Number two, if women are working and they want to be independent, the people who are selling houses, and that's why I think a study just recently came out talking about how women in America are buying more single women are buying homes more than single men. That works for the people who are selling homes. Because if a man and woman get together, they only need one home. They don't need to spend extra mortgage, extra money, extra rent. But if both people are split because women want to be by themselves, they don't need a man. The people who are selling products, the people who are selling services, the people who are selling electricity, the people who are selling food, the people who are selling different services people need on the day-to-day make more money because they have two people spending money. But if two people get together, now they only have to pay mortgage for one place. They have to pay rent for one place. So at the end of the day, the people who are selling more homes and things like that are making more money. And also the people who are selling cats and dogs and, cat food and dog food are making more money because single women tend to keep more of the pets.
What do I want?
Yeah.
To be comfortable and to do what I want to do when I want to do it.
I told you. That's it. She's right.
There we go. Jackpot.
She's right.
Delusion.
You
want to be able to do what you want to. Wait. Well, before I even, what does that entail? Let me ask that. What does that entail before I go off on a tangent?
If I feel like taking a nap, I should be able to take a nap.
Come on
That's
now.
it. I shouldn't be having to worry about, I got to pay half his bills. I can't take this nap. I got to go clock in.
Let's not be extreme and
I'm on
let's
my
not
period,
be so.
but I still have to go pay this man's bills, even though I want to get in bed. Like, I'm pregnant, but I have to pay this man's bills and get up. And my feet are swollen. Let me clock into work. Let me listen to this boss and then go home and listen to this man and then wash his clothes and wash his dishes and pay half his bills.
No, wait. Well,
that's not the life that I want. I'm going to be honest.
But when you
there's a
don't
lot
have
of
to do
women
that,
who
just
they deal with that.
Forget the 50-50 part. You don't have to do that. So as a woman in a relationship, what do you want? Nah, skip all that.
She wants it
all
all.
That you got to work and all that
everything.
Stuff.
She wants it everything.
Like if the man is handling his business, what does that mean to do what you want to do?
Exactly what she said. She wants to be able to be independent, but also be free while having the benefits of a relationship and the benefits of having a man who's paying her bills. She doesn't want to have to work. Most women want to be able to go to work only because they want to work, not because they're worried about paying bills. That's the difference. Meaning if she decides to call out for a trip for 3 weeks, she can do that because she doesn't have any bills. Because you, Slim, you're going to be paying her bills.
She just
what
want to live a
I
good life. Period.
want to do. I don't know. Some days I don't even know what day it is, Slimmy. Whatever I want to do. If that's nothing, then I'm not gonna do nothing.
Oh my God. That's true. Shout out to her for being honest. That's what most women want.
I don't know what that means.
Watch, go to Carrie. Go to Carrie.
Yeah, Carrie, go ahead. 'Cause Molly gonna tap dance around this shit.
No,
She
she
gonna
was honest.
Sammy Davis Jr.
Molly was honest. Slimmy just doesn't like her answer. She's being honest. Women just want to be able to do whatever they want to do, and I'm not mad at it as long as they know that they're gonna have to give something in return because nothing is free. But they just want a man who's gonna let them do whatever they want to do.
She gonna Sammy Davis Jr. her way about this conversation. Oh, I feel it.
What else am I supposed to want to do?
I don't know. You said it, Molly, and then you was just like, "What? I want to take a nap." This is like, damn, that's all you want.
Dang, because sometimes I be wanting to lay down and get some rest. Eat some fruit, take a nap, go stretch here and there, maybe go outside, read a book.
Mm-mm-mm.
Maybe go shopping if I feel like going out.
Sound like Rita.
What am I supposed to do?
You know what? I miss Mariam. I think that's why women don't want marriage anymore. Because I get it. We talk about how the fact that men don't want marriage anymore, but women don't want marriage anymore either. Not because marriage is a bad thing or anything, but because of what you said. Marriage is not for lazy people. Because if a man is single, a man is going to work 40 hours. He's going to work 40 hours, pay his bills, pay his rent, have some money, because men are not traveling like crazy unless they get older. But no 30-year-old, unless he's really making very, very good money, but no 30-year-old man is traveling every 3 months. It's usually women who like to travel. Men just like to live it simple. Go to the gym, work out, hang out with your boys, be in the house. That's it. Like, okay, save the money. That's it. Nothing crazy. Women like to shop. Let me go out with my girlfriends, brunch, a bunch of things. So if a man is single, he doesn't need too much money. He just needs to be comfortable. But once a man gets married, he literally has to work more than the 40 hours he was working on his own, because now he has to work for the woman. Because remember, he's trying to be the provider. Even if he's going to pay 60% even if he's going to pay 55% of the bills, it's still the majority of the bills. He's going to have to work more hours he worked than when he was single. But it's the opposite for women in marriage. They want to be able to do less than they did when they were single. So they're thinking, when I was single, I was working 40 hours. Once I get a man and I get married, I want to be able to work 25 hours if I want to. So it's the opposite. But even then, they don't want to be able to cook and clean. But like Miss Mariam said, it's not for lazy people. She's going to have to do some things for the man. If he's going to be working 60, 80 hours for you, you're going to have to do some things for the man. But they don't want that. So the reason they don't want marriage is because they look at it as slavery. They would rather have a boyfriend who's going to pay all their bills, but they don't have to cook and clean for him. All they have to do is spread their legs, let him clap them cheeks, and he sends them cash up. So they looked at it as being in a relationship but not married is better than marriage, because he doesn't have to put traditional roles on me. We're just dating. We're just in a relationship. So that's why they don't want marriage. All right. Anyway, shout out to Anton Daniels. Shout out to you guys who are watching. Like the video, man. Like the live stream. I have so much content we're going to be going through. All right. So that's finished. What are we doing next? I have another Anton Daniels from years ago, when he used to be on La Pif. I don't know how long you guys have been following Anton Daniels, but I have one in the vault. It's coming. I have it ready. So you guys watch out for that. It's coming. So let's go. All right. Let's go to La Pif real quick.
Getting the reciprocity, why did you put so much effort into that man when you weren't getting it? And maybe that's the reason why you're no longer in that relationship. I don't know. But then the other thing is, did you like? It sounds like you're like a giver and you want to please, but do you feel like he took it? I mean, I would say he probably did take advantage of it. Do you feel like it was like he was mooching off of you to get reap all the benefits?
Geez, that's hard to say. I don't think that was his intent, but I think that that's just kind of what ended up happening. Like, because I sort of come from an affluent background, so like a lot of things were already like provided for me. And again, I did make more money than him, but that's just the type of person that I am. I usually feel needs when, where they need to be filled. But also I love to make the person that I'm with feel special. So I do things for them. That's just what I do.
It's important to get that reciprocity, right? So
no, it is.
So you may have a selfish, obviously, relationship, maybe because the fact that a person should want to give you, like, you weren't pampered, you weren't treated as if like, it's like you poured into him and your cup was overflowing with all the tasks of, holding that weight, and he wasn't providing that. So somebody, they're supposed to add extra.
I don't want to make it about.
That's why it ended up fizzling out.
I don't want to make it about Bo. I'm glad she said the president's, but let's just take her scenario, right? Because she did say that he paid the mortgage. I'm a numbers person. I don't know what this mortgage consisted of, but basically, if we're doing a financial analysis, most people's. Oh, you did say that.
No, she said it wasn't much.
She said it wasn't much.
Let's talk numbers.
I'm talking number from.
No, I want her to talk numbers.
Very low.
She said he paid.
How much did you put out? And how much did he put out?
It was a 3-digit mortgage.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very different.
That 3-digit mortgage? So we're talking what, $900 at most? That still happens? Some people pay $900 in mortgage? Where? Must be somewhere down in Alabama or some shit.
That is different. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's very, very different. Especially if you got like car payments and stuff like that, it gets crazy. So, but what I wanted to make a point real quick. So, Bo, all your points are valid, but I do want everyone to understand that men typically are sharing plenty of household chores, particularly black men. Black men are doing more to support black women than anyone else, right? We are most likely to become stepdads. We're most likely to do more household chores and split them with the woman than any other race, period. But I will say a lot of these men are typically ignored. That's the problem. Most women aren't necessarily attracted to them for other reasons, whatever that may be. But a great portion of men are willing to do all of these things. When you start stepping into commonly what's considered as the top tier men, they're not trying to really hear that shit. And because they have worked their whole lives to not have to do those types of things. But your average man out here is extremely willing and ready to support you in any metric that you could think about.
They don't want average men.
That's how black men usually are. So I hear a lot of complaints about it, but most of these dudes are willing to get busy with you.
They don't want them.
They
look at average men as struggle. They literally call it struggle love. So if a man makes 50,000, he can't afford taking out on 3 trips a year. He can only afford Applebee's or chocolate. What is it? I forget the name of the restaurant, but you know the restaurant I'm talking about. He can only afford normal restaurants. They literally call it struggle love. It's crazy.
I've been kind of quiet, listening to everyone, and as far as when we come to, the Black community and how you guys work everything, I will be speaking from an outsider, because although I'm an Afro Latino, like I have a different, growing up culture background in the sense how we do things. Since we're little, we were taught how to like take care of a household. Like I think I was washing dishes by the time I was, 8 years old in a bar stool, like in front of a sink. Like, it's and that's just something that comes natural to us. And that's what we, kind of pass along. However, raising I raised 3 boys, and then I have my girl, which is the youngest. And I can actually say that raising my boys was way easier than my daughter. That the things that I have to teach my daughter on top of just the normal thing, because how now outside culture is going, it has made my parenting way harder, because feminism has been taken out of context. Women have, and pardon me, I'm a woman too, but I see it how I say how I see it. And as women nowadays are picking and choosing what they want, but they're not willing to give in an inch. They want everything, but then they said, okay, this is what I want. But then they find a man that is giving what they want, but they will also find something to be combative about.
They want selective equality. They're like, oh, we're equal here. Oh, you're the leader here. Oh, the rent is due. Oh, the man is the leader. He's a provider. Oh, I made my own money. Oh, you can't touch my money. I'm a woman. You're a man. Equality. So, oh, whose turn to cook? The man's turn to cook, because we're equal. So they pick and choose when they want to be equal with the man.
Or I will say that, and it's based on my social circle. We mostly have come from divorced parents, and so most of them have not been taught how to be a wife or a husband, because they were in split homes, so they don't have an ideal of what a marriage look like. So when they get into one, they're just learning as they go with it. But also when it comes to emotional maturity and communication skills and heal traumas, those things don't get sorted out. They kind of like, they just go with the flow, and then they get into these relationships, and then boom, things are clashing because certain things are not being spoken for. Budgets have not been figured out, and all those things. I married young, so I learned financial literacy like way down the road. So from learnings from those mistakes, then I was able to taught my boys how you can manage and rule a household going forward. But right now and nowadays,
I think that was the father's job. That was their father's job, teaching them how to rule a household. I could be wrong. I'm not saying the mother can't teach her sons how to manage money, but she said how to rule a household. I think that will be the father's job.
By seeing where my daughter is now and going into freshman year in high school, she doesn't know nothing about financial literacy if I would not teach her at home. So majority of those things that there will be, that will create a successful relationship at the house. And nowadays, unfortunately, women are having kids that are being raised by the school system, and they're being left at home because they're too busy socializing and worrying about what Mrs. Jones is doing so I can match it, or working extra hours so they can buy this, brand name purse, instead of being at home and teaching that child so they can be secure and have a strong foundation of when becomes an adult, what is to take care of themselves and be financially independent. So I think it's a lot of misconstruction nowadays with what people are taking gender roles as an offensive things. Men are not solely, protecting providers, because, provision is not only financially, they're supposed to be an emotional, safe space for the wife. But then if the wife is always combative because she have expectations about the man, expectation that she never talked to him about. And so those preconceptions, they just create chaos within the same household. And then you have like the first the video, the man doesn't want to come home. But it's just so much for a lack of communication and unhealed traumas that people get into relationship before they can take care of themselves and be in an emotional position that they can attract the peace that they are. And I'm sorry, I land.
I mean, she's right on for the most part, but I think one issue she talked about is how people get into relationships with trauma. And ladies, you'll do this a lot. And you know what? Let me speak for the men. Men, you need to realize that most women you get into relationship with have trauma. So whether it was from their childhood, their parents, their single mom, the dad wasn't around, whatever the case may be, most women you're going to run into are going to have some kind of trauma. I don't care if they've been in therapy. We know that therapy doesn't work for women. Otherwise, they wouldn't be complaining all the time, or they wouldn't be so scared of being held accountable. Because one thing we know about therapy, it's supposed to hold you accountable for your fuck ups. But for some reason, most therapists are women, and they can't hold other women accountable because they want to keep making money from those same women. Because if they held women accountable, those women would stop seeing those therapists. That's number one. But number two, men, you need to know most women are going to have trauma, and they're going to expect you to be their therapist. Oh, yes. Most of you guys think when women are talking about providers, gotta have money. Yeah, that's their priority. But another thing most men don't think about is the fact that when you get into a relationship with some of these women, they're going to expect you to be their therapist. They're going to expect you to be their female best friend. Almost like they're going to turn you into their girlfriend because they have to gossip. Not because they want you to solve their issues, but because they want you to just keep talking and talking. That's one thing men don't think about.
I would like to know what maybe you guys can help BK, Jay, Cheyenne, maybe even Miss Pearl, maybe even both. What do women actually generally want? Because you hear a lot of times that they say they want fairness, equality, whatever. But I often hear that they want to push away having to carry anything, whether that's facilitating domestic duties, definitely financially. They're like, hell no, I'm not giving you none of my money. So what is it supposed to look like moving forward? Because there is no equation where women are not going to have to facilitate jobs. It's just not going to happen en masse. So what would a relationship look like from y'all's standpoint? And what should men be looking out for?
Women can not facilitate relationships in mass. They just got to get with men that can afford for them not to. What then they won't be able to do is to have one of those men all to themselves.
But then that's a bad precedent only because the numbers it's not on their side. We know it's not on their side. There's no equation.
It's about 35, 36 to 1. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. So if we're talking in math, we're serving, a huge sample size. Most women are only going to be able to acquire your everyday working regular dude. When I say regular, I'm somebody you can touch, somebody you get it. Okay. So what is it supposed to look like? Because this idea that you're not going to work, y'all can get rid of that. You're going to work. That's just going to happen.
Majority. Yeah.
So
are you asking what are women looking for?
Everything.
I'm asking, what does a relationship look like from now moving forward with the reality that women are going to work? This fallacy that you're not going to have to work is a lie. Women have always worked. They're definitely going to have to continue to work. So now we're talking about relationships. Once you clock out, whatever the heck, what is it supposed to look like? Because it seems like there's a disconnect here. That's what it seems like.
No, they know. Women know that rich men they want are very scarce. You could line up 10 women, and I can guarantee you, maybe only one has come across a man who makes $500,000 in her entire life. Maybe just one out of the 10 women. But they all want that man who makes $500,000 or more. That's one thing. But even if they know that the chances of running into a man who makes that kind of money is small, they would rather live in delusion than be with an average man. They literally believe they're dating down being with a man who's on their level. I'm telling you, even if she makes 60,000 and the man makes 55,000, she believes she's dating down. So again, I know they already know the numbers. They know the men who make lots of money, the type of man they want is very, very rare. And they're probably going to die without ever meeting that type of man. But to them, that's why they say, I'd rather die alone, live alone, than date down, than settle with an average man. So they already know.
No, I don't think there's a real disconnect in real life. I think the internet is the internet. It's for entertainment. If you think that this represents the broader life, you're stupid. It is what it is, right? This is the internet. It's entertainment. People are trying to drive up likes to get money. It's another form of TV that we have entered to. This is our reality. So I just want to put that out there. Now, when you talk about reality, which is that a majority of people, correct, they're both going to be working individuals. I looked up the statistic on Black and, the income has increased slightly, right? To, as of 2024, right? Black men are making, $55,000 and Black women are making about $52,000, $3,000 difference yet and still. And with that, after taxes and all the jazz, yes, you're both gonna have to work. You're both gonna have to contribute to the household. I think what Bo kind of alluded to, right, was what she said. At home, there needs to be a measure of equal labor inside of the home if you're going to do equal labor outside of the home, right? So for the average man who has to go to work 40 hours a week, an average woman who has to go to work 40 hours a week, that means that you two need to sit down, write out everything that needs to be done in the household. Whoever has the strength to do cleaning, do cleaning. Whoever has the strength to cook, do cook. Whoever has the strength to do this, do that, do this, do that. It's going to be both people putting in their efforts financially, because $3,000 after taxes, about $333, a little bit more, right, a month.
I mean, that's fair. That's the ideal situation. And I think most men don't have an issue with that. But in reality, if a man makes 50,000 and the woman makes 50,000, the woman doesn't want to touch her 50,000. She wants the man to spend all his 50,000 on the house. And then she also expects the man to help out with cleaning and cooking. That's the reality most women want. That's why they guilt trap men into saying, you're the provider, how dare you make me pay bills? Because men are asking, if you want me to spend all my 50,000 on you, and then you're saving your own 50,000, how do I benefit? Because it's not like you're cooking, because you're also working. There is no man who works 9 to 5, has a woman who works 9 to 5 and comes home and expects her to have the dinner ready. Most men are not that dumb. Are there some dumb men? Probably. But most men know that's not, that's not a reality. But the issue is, in reality, most women don't want to have to pay any bills. Now they are forced to pay bills because the man doesn't have enough. But eventually those relationships end in divorce. Sometimes they don't even happen, like in today's time. Those relationships don't even start because women are saying, if a man makes 50,000, makes the same money as me, he's below me, he's under me. I'm not dating down. I deserve, that's the word they use. I deserve a man who can pay all my bills. And you're asking them, what do you mean you deserve? What did you do to earn? What makes you deserve that kind of treatment? I'm a woman, he's a man, so I deserve. Those are the times we live in. Anyway, guys, get the likes up, man. Like the video. I have so much to cook for you guys, so like the video as we continue cooking. Shout out to Lapif. All right, let's keep cooking. Next. So I know this is the video you guys came for. Should I do it next, or should I, I haven't done whatever podcast in a while. So let's go over there and find out why men hate divorce when it comes to alimony. Because we know when alimony happens, I don't know if you guys know, in some states, I think like California, if a man and woman have been married for 10 years plus, I think 10 years is the mark, and they divorce, the man, if he was making more money, is going to be required to pay spousal support, which I think is almost the same as alimony, to the woman for the rest of their lives. The only way a man can stop paying spousal support or alimony is if the woman dies or if she remarries. But we know most women don't remarry because they want to keep getting paid. And that's one thing most men are thinking about now. So let's get into it.
Like we could, I mean, perhaps in your position, you might not agree with this, but there is some social current that does seem to point towards certain degrees of alimony and child support as being a bit unfair towards the payer. Like, should you be bound for, imagine, say you were married from the age of 20 to 31, and then this woman at 31, she divorces him. I'm not saying you did this. Let's say she cheats on him. Legally, she's still owed alimony. I mean, you could even remove the cheating component to it. But that is a scenario where the woman can be at fault for the cause of the divorce and still receive the benefits. But should this man, say 30 years later, still have to pay her alimony?
No.
I think not. I don't think, okay, you married at 20, you divorced at 31, it was past 10 years. Sometimes I think it depends on the state. The laws vary.
Yeah.
But I think past 10 years, you can get into permanent life alimony territory. And
Which we didn't. We agreed to just have the alimony go until our son graduated high school. So
well, the child support.
That's
no
a long
alimony.
time.
Well,
Alimony and
So you're
child
not
support.
getting alimony anymore, or you're just
No.
getting the retirement?
Just the retirement.
Oh,
well,
So
that's
alimony.
that's
still
I
it's
would-
not alimony.
Well, I could. Well,
It's an asset.
I would suppose, regardless of how we categorize it, he owes you a financial burden. Like he has to pay you money beyond the course, like for forever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like if it was if the
Before
world,
we moved to Japan, we were contemplating getting divorced at that point, and that was when he decided to start going back to church. And I said, you know, if I do go to Japan with you and we do try, that'll put us over the 10-year mark and it'll change things financially afterwards.
oh,
So
you had that
I
conversation.
did have that conversation with him.
And the marriage was
I don't believe her,
in
but okay.
California?
Yes.
And the divorce proceedings, I'm assuming, in California?
Yeah.
California life alimony
California is
cutoff
brutal, man.
date? I don't know if that's going to prompt.
Actually, now that I think about it, I think they abolished. I think the governor of Florida abolished lifetime alimony. I think he said it to 10 years.
There's no automatic lifetime alimony for marriages of 10 years or more. The court often keeps jurisdiction indefinitely, allowing support to continue until death of either party. So if 10 years, that in California at least, where you had your marriage and divorce, it is 10 years. So damn, that's yeah. That's
crazy.
That I don't know.
That's the risk of marriage. Everybody has to know that going into
Well,
it.
how
You could
come-
lose everything.
Wait a minute. I think everybody at this table, probably besides me and maybe a few of you, but that side of the table is going to say men and women are equal. So why is it only the men that have to pay?
But why do you assume that?
No,
this side of the table
you
is going
don't
to
think that men and women are equal?
I don't believe that men and women are equal in the physical and emotional sense.
See, they pick and choose when they think men are equal. Men and women are equal. They pick and choose. What benefits them, they want to be equal with. They don't want to be equal with men. What doesn't benefit them, they want to be equal with men.
Scientific biology, we're not. But I don't believe that because of biology, we should be treated any
Legally
different.
equal, though. You believe in legal and political equality between men and women, I would assume. It's pretty rare that I come across women who don't.
Like I believe that should happen, or do I believe that's what's in
You
society?
believe that's
right
how
now?
it ought to be.
I believe that is how it ought to be.
Okay, then if you believe that's how it ought to be, why is it only the man that has to pay the alimony
Good question.
or the spousal support?
That's country law. That's belief by.
I understand what is. Why ought that be the case? Why aren't you saying, look, if we have equality, there should be equality in divorce too?
I believe that is true. And that's why it's like, that's the risk. If you're marrying with the laws that way, that's the risk you take. Unless you want.
Yeah, but she's asking, if you know that laws are not fair to men, why don't you stand up and say, hey, please stop giving us alimony. It's not fair to the man. If you're screaming we're equal to men, and you know the laws, the divorce laws are not equal for men, are not fair to men, she's asking, why don't you scream on top of the mountains, the same way you scream for other equality and same pay for men and women? Why don't you scream, hey, the divorce court is not fair to men, and we want to be fair and equal with men. They should stop paying us alimony. They never do that because it benefits them.
To deal with that, then don't get married.
So men don't get married.
That is like the simple point, and no one wants to
How
have that
about change the
conversation because like
laws?
that's wild. Why not get married? But also divorce is a pain, and I feel like a lot of people don't think through their decision of marriage because, I mean, we're having this conversation right now, like if it's fair or not, but that was the law.
I think the solution is to change the laws. I don't think that
Exactly.
marriage
That's-
should even be through
exact
the laws
period.
and the courts. It should be governed by the church, but we can get into that later. if you want.
Well, so like
Something-
hypothetically in my situation, say I had been the active duty military member and he had been a stay-at-home parent. After getting divorced, I absolutely would be paying him the money. So it's not the that because he was the man, it was because he was the breadwinner, and that was an asset that was earned during marriage.
Yeah, but after divorce, you can go start working and you become your own breadwinner. That's the whole point. That's the whole thing. Especially because you filed for divorce. If you choose to walk away, you don't need my money anymore. Because it's not like, because you guys know that a man will continue paying alimony, continue paying a woman money who just divorced him, but she never goes to his house to cook for him. So in other words, after divorce, the man still is held to his responsibilities, but they never tell the woman that you have to go on the weekends and cook him a meal or something like that, or continue letting him clap your cheeks.
She is right insofar as it's not, the laws are not specifically gendered that says men, it's
right.
But do men,
but since
men
women have the children,
yes,
women have the children, and so everything's set up that, you know, if you just decide I'm not happy, you just leave, and he owes you for life. I don't know.
That's crazy.
That don't seem right to me.
I mean, it was probably
that's right there. Most men are now thinking about exactly what Rachel just said. So you're telling me you're going to wake up one morning, say you're not happy, leave me, and then I have to pay you for the rest of my life? Meaning if I go to work 40 hours, I need to work an extra 60 hours because you're probably going to take half of those hours away from me. You yet another man is clapping your cheeks in the same house that I bought. So men are starting to do the math and saying, you know what, fuck, this is not fair. Like only a foolish man would do that.
More complicated than I just wasn't happy.
Well,
the relationship wasn't good.
Well, we're here to talk about relationships.
Yeah.
So like maybe you can give us like a hint as to what else was going on, or
I mean, he would yell at me often. Like,
what did you
I don't
do
think
wrong?
women should tolerate being yelled at by their husbands.
What did you do wrong?
well, I think there's definitely times when your husband might need to set you straight, and I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with that. I mean,
Well,
wives yell at their husbands plenty, don't they?
If I was going to be giving somebody constructive criticism to set them straight, do you think yelling at them is going to be the way to have them receive the message? Or
I think that expecting men to act like women and psychologize everything and sound like an HR manager. Men are not going to, this is what women need to understand. If you want to get married, don't have the expectation that a man is going to sit down and go, now, sweetie, I would like to share with you my feelings about what just transpired, and it's okay if you want to share. I'm going to share. Like, that's not how men communicate.
Facts.
Men are more straightforward, and they'll usually try to talk to you first and go, hey, I don't like this. This behavior needs to change, whatever. And then when we cry or equivocate or give them all kinds of trouble or dance around it or turn it into a 5-day-long argument, they usually have enough, and then they explode, and then they yell. Now, maybe that's not what happened with you, but when women say emotional abuse to me, the first thing that comes to my head is they're thinking that the man needs to act like a mommy. He needs to act like a girl. He needs to communicate like a female would. And that's not fair to expect from men. And I think that if you want that, you should marry a woman. I mean, don't marry a woman because that's not a thing, but
I feel like when
the reason they call it emotional abuse is because some of these women pick up those terms from their female therapists. Because like I told you guys, the reason female therapists are still in business is because they don't hold women accountable. If female therapists used to hold women accountable, they would run out of business because women fear accountability. So what female therapists do, they create a bunch of buzzwords, a bunch of scenarios to make it look like the woman is the victim. She's a good person, and the world and her husband and the boyfriend and her boss and her friends are the bad ones. So that's why they have them use the words like emotional abuse, or they also have financial abuse. He didn't let me take 10 trips in a year, so he's financially abusing me because he doesn't want me to spend money. He didn't let me, spend crazy and buy a bunch of dresses, so he's financially abusing me. And that's what therapists do, because most of these women are in therapy from age 21 to age 60. They're in therapy, but it never works.
Relationship, I was probably more
it's not marriage
in his mommy role versus his wife role, because it's like, hey, the lawn needs to get mowed. Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. And it's like, hey, can you just see that the lawn needs to get mowed and I'm doing the XYZ and
That sounds
we have
like
a young
every
child.
yeah, that
No,
sounds
I
like
know, but
every
it's
marriage.
like
yeah.
it's like I don't think it's too much to ask for another grown adult to actively be participating in the home instead of
It isn't, but is
like-
it worth breaking a family up over because the grass is a little long? Like you really this
No,
is,
I
this
mean
is the
that
thing.
was
You gotta
that
like
was
really
just one
pick your
example.
battles. Well,
That's just one example.
what I used to do this myself when I was younger. I used to do this too, and I've seen all the women in my life do this. You're watching the man and you're going, he didn't see does he not see that the grass needs to be mowed? And did he not see that he dropped his socks on the bathroom floor and didn't pick them up? And I've told him to for a million times. He doesn't care about me. I've told him I don't like that. That means he doesn't care about me. He doesn't love me. That's emotional abuse. But in men's minds, they're going, I got to go to work. I got to deal with my boss. I got to make sure that bill gets paid. I'm exhausted. 20 other people are calling me with things that they want. I'm going to get to it's just fucking grass. You know, in a man's mind, it's like, it's just socks. It's just grass.
like,
They're
honestly-
not trying to say, I don't love you. And if you can understand that and go, it's just grass. We'll get through the grass. I had this big aha moment with my husband years and years ago where we were fighting over something small and stupid. It was so small and stupid that I don't even remember what it is. And I just wouldn't drop it. I was probably on my period, to be perfectly honest, because I only get like that when I'm, that time of the month. And finally, he just looked at me and said, are you going to divorce me over this? Is it that important to you that you're going to divorce? Are you going to walk away and divorce me? And I went, no. And he was like, all right, then drop it. And I was really mad in the moment. But when I walked away and calmed down, I went, he's right. Like our marriage, our family together is way bigger than whatever this petty thing is, or even a bunch of petty things. And maybe I should try to be more understanding of like where his mind has to be, what it takes to be a breadwinner and a provider, all of the things that he carries on his shoulders that we don't really think about. And I think women, we process everything through our own experience and our own feelings, and we personalize stuff so much that when men do little things like that, and I've just seen this happen to so many of my friends and family members, like a couple.
Because women are selfish. I'm going to be honest. They are really they only think about themselves. And this is why I've told you guys, you could be good to a woman as a man. So let's say on Monday through Sunday, you give her everything she asks for. On Monday, she asks for a gift. You give her the gift. On Tuesday, she asks you to take her out. On Wednesday, she asks for a trip. On Thursday, you cook for her. On Friday, you buy her shoes. On Saturday, you give her some good sex. On Sunday, if she asks for something and you don't do it, she's going to forget everything you did for the last 6 days. And she's going to focus on this one thing you couldn't deliver on. So they forget everything because they only think about themselves. They're not thinking about that. Okay, what can I do in return? So can you imagine how many women have divorced men because men refuse to cut grass? How many women have divorced men over some nagging, stupid, petty shit? So as a man, if you're getting too married, those are things you have to think about. And I'm just glad it's coming from a married woman, because most women think just like her, just like this woman. Few women think like this married woman over here.
I know got divorced and the woman said he sets his coffee down on the counter every day and it drips and it leaves a ring. And I've told him a million times that bugs me. And he just won't wipe all he has to do is wipe the coffee. And that's how I know he doesn't care about me.
Okay, but at the same time, if she's the breadwinner, and you're staying home, like you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're being the traditional wife, then like, I'm not gonna lie, he's out there making all the money, paying all the bills, then like it's okay. You can pick up the socks.
Exactly.
Like that's your job.
I agree with you 100%.
You can
And maybe you can't mow the lawn, and maybe if he's truly too busy or he just really hates mowing the lawn, maybe go to him and go, would it make sense to pay somebody to come and mow the lawn? Can we afford that? Maybe that would be better. I just think I think it's a lot of cultural influence that tells us to constantly keep track of everything the man's not doing and every little infraction that he makes, instead of being like really generous and going, men have a lot on their plate. They don't cry about it. He's not going to come tell me all his problems. He's going to keep it in here and try to deal with it. So I don't know.
And you know what happens sometimes? First of all, they're going to be nagging the guy. Oh, I asked you to pick up your socks. Oh, I asked you to mow the lawn. Oh, I asked you to do ABCD. So they're going to nag the man. They're going to nag him over and over and over again. So if they don't divorce you, another thing they do is cut off the sex, because Remember, men don't get mad all day, everything like that. Once both of you get in bed, most men, want to go to pound town. And then she's just going to be like, don't touch me, because she's mad from something he didn't do 2 weeks ago. So they start, manipulation using sex. They weaponize the sex.
And we call it being an independent woman, and they just call it being an adult and go about their lives. And I find it really interesting that as a majority, women obviously love testosterone when it comes to paying for things, providing, protecting, putting their life on the line in the bedroom. And I know that because even though the majority of the brainwashed feminists online say they hate being controlled by a man, statistically, what's funny is when they are alone in their rooms at night, the most viewed adult content topic is what? Being controlled by a man. So it's almost like they're denying their biology so hard, and then when they're alone, it just comes out and they can't deny it. But it's kind of unfair that we're willing to enjoy the benefits of testosterone, but then unwilling to nurture it when it comes to us needing to be kind and understanding of those things. Like, they are tenfold because our emotions are haywire, which we can admit through, it seems like silly memes like, oh, I said that crazy thing on my period, but when we're asked, it's like, no,
I'm sorry about what I said when I was hungry.
Exactly. It's like, no, vote for her for president. It's okay if she bombs Texas when she's PMSing. Like, no. So none of that makes sense to me. And it's not hard to just wipe up the ring, call someone to mow the lawn, or do it yourself, or
And to be fair though, our generation, we're about the same age. Our generation, especially the boomers, that everybody born between like 1960 and 1990, we had movies, TV, magazines, radio programs, everything in the media, everything in the pop
Pushing
culture
feminism.
was like, men suck. Think of every sitcom. Homer Simpson, Everybody Loves Raymond. Like, all the men are idiots. They're bumbling fools, and the wife's just like,
brainwashed.
this guy is so stupid, and I have to take care of everything, and he just wouldn't be able to live if I didn't do every little thing. What an idiot. And it's like, we just really got bombarded with that propaganda, and I think it made all of us look at our relationships and constantly count everything that we think he should be doing that he's not doing, or all the little ways that he didn't take into account our feelings or nurture our emotions or things like that. And the truth is, like, marriage is a lifelong commitment. You're going to have a lot of ups and downs. You're going to disappoint each other. You're going to say bad things to each other. You're going to get into bad habits that you got to break. And it takes, wanting to work through that stuff. But I just feel like when I hear emotional abuse, more often than, like, real emotional abuse would be something like, he wouldn't let me speak to my own children. He wouldn't let me leave the house and, see my friends, or like something major like that. Not like I told him to mow the lawn and he said he would do it tomorrow and then he didn't.
So
And then, she talked about how the boomers, so that's from 1960 to 1990, were fed feminism, or were fed hating men. But what happened is that the women born in that generation also had daughters. Guess what they taught their daughters? And their daughters got social media. So the cycle keeps going, and it keeps getting worse, because the marriage rate goes down because the daughters watch how their mothers hate men. They hate men, but they still, there's been one constant since feminism. Can you guys name what that is? The one constant all feminists have had. The same constant across generations. The only constant women feminists have had about men is men still need to provide for us. We were equal to men. We can do anything a man can do. We should get paid the same as a man, but they should still provide for us. So the woman wants to be able to get paid $50 an hour, the same as the man, but still expect that same man who's getting paid the same money to be the provider. All across generations of feminists, it's the same constant they have.
Example of something that would probably fit a little bit more with what you're saying is, he liked to kind of buddy up with whoever my closest girlfriend was, and like try and talk bad about me, and like try to like,
she's playing victim,
So you have taste in beta men,
poison their
well, that would be legitimate. That would be legitimate.
And then
because I tell women, I don't think you should do that. I don't think you should get together with your friends and talk shit about your husbands
absolutely
either.
not.
So
no, what
I don't
you do with your partner stays with, like, if you have an argument, you're not gonna go tell your friend. What is wrong with you? It's not a relationship with you, your partner, and your friend. It's between you and your partner. It's private. So
I would say
and you're gonna forgive. And then you mentioned Everybody Loves Raymond. Raymond was horrible about using weaponized incompetence, about like, I'm going to just do this so badly that she doesn't ask me to do it. And it's like, I mean,
the show worked. It made you hate
and
men.
then as a mom, my job never ends. Like, am I allowed to be like, oh yeah, I've been playing with the kids all day, or I've been feeding them, or, you know, do all the mom stuff, and like, hey, can I have a day off? Like, are you gonna, like, most
no moms get days off.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I had 5, so if I only had one, that would seem like literally a vacation to me. I don't think that one would ever have given me. Although, actually, now that I think of it, having one is harder than having 2 or more, because when you only have one, you're like their whole world. You're their only person. You know,
Yeah.
until they're much older. So it can be really tough up until they're like 6 or 7. But I don't know.
I mean, so women are complaining that being a mother is too tough, and all men have to do is go to work and come home and find a home cooked meal. Right? So we get that. It's tough being a mother, it's tough playing with the kid, it's tough showering the kid, it's tough cooking, it's tough cleaning up. But amidst all this complaining how men don't do enough, most women still don't want to switch places with men. You guys ever thought about that? With all the women who complain that being a mother, being a stay-at-home mother is so hard, they never want to switch places. So what I'm saying is, after having the babies and let's say 6 months of breastfeeding, they could literally just say, hey, husband, I'm done breastfeeding. Put the kid on the bottle. I'm back to work. You stay home. You raise the kids. I'm going to provide. They never want to switch. They complain, constantly complaining how the husbands are not helping at home and all they do is work. But they never want to switch. If they think the men have it so easy, why don't they ever switch roles with the man and work every single day to pay the bills as the man is a stay-at-home husband? They never want that. All they do is complain, which means they want it all. It's never enough. Anyway, shout out to Whatever Podcast, man. Shout out to you guys for watching. Like the video. Let's get on with the show. What else do we have? All right, let's just go to the let's go to the video of the show. If you're still in here watching, shout out to you, because you're not going to miss this unless you watch it on the playback or once I clip it up, for those of you who don't like to watch long videos. All right, let's go. So women are realizing, hey, listen, I'm going to go out here, sleep around, let some ninjas clap my cheeks, but at the end of the day, I'm going to choose a nerd. I'm going to choose a nice guy. They call them nerds. I call them the nice guys. All right, let's get into it.
I'm still having sex with men who wore Adidas slides and dirty white socks. You know the one. I'm still having sex with men who wore Adidas slides and dirty white socks. You know the ones. I wish I could tell me then that I'd be married to like a whole ass pediatrician sitting outside in our backyard by the fire he built me, drinking an old fashioned, waiting for him to come downstairs to join me because he's putting our kids to bed. Marry the nerd.
A couple of days ago, I accidentally went viral for a video I did last week telling women to marry a nerd. I also made the cardinal mistake of admitting to having sex before I met my husband. I'm guilty of the exact same thing their mother is, having sex. I'm not guilty of having sex with a dumbass. That's true, but still. In my video, all I was trying to do was tell women to not have sex with the type of men who produced the dudes in my comments. And men from all across the internet are making think pieces about it. You know, I'm a slut, I'm a skank, I got trains run on me, my husband was my last option, I settled, he settled, may this love never find me, that kind of thing. And before I met my husband, I used to eat men like that, like the ones in my comments, alive for funsies. And I know the joke, oh, you used to swallow dick. Oh, God, make better jokes. You guys have been telling the same fucking jokes since like the Salem witch trial. Like, you know, in The Wizard of Oz, when the lion tries to scare Dorothy and she like goes like, what the fuck are you doing? And he goes, oh, I'm actually like, I just need some courage. Like a lot of you are just trying to figure out how to be a man. And that's how it comes through. Like,
You're really that mad that you took time out from your job at Publix to do a 45-second think piece on a married woman talking to other women? I don't see the masculinity in it. A lot of you glitch when you hear that a woman has had sex before she met you.
All right, she goes on and on and on and on for a long time, but y'all pretty much get the message. So she kind of went viral after saying marry the nerd, after she been with the guy with the dirty socks and the flip-flops and the Nike Tech. And then she tried to go off on guys that was kind of reacting to it. What are y'all thoughts on that?
She's a red flag.
Why are men so mad?
Wow.
I mean, I want
the men are mad because clearly you are sleeping with the bad boys, and then when you're tired of being in the streets, now you want the nice guy. That's why.
to go with the good guy, marry the good guy. It sounds like that's what she did. So I wouldn't understand why she would be getting backlash from men. It seemed like men would be, congratulating her maybe.
I think that she's getting backlash because she was a slut previous to. This sounds like what they're saying.
Exactly.
Okay, that's what y'all look for.
I think it's probably the common narrative that women are sluts until you get older. You don't have no more options, and then you pick a good guy. I think that's
a good dumb guy.
Well, we don't know if she waited till she got old to pick him.
She look old.
Y'all think all women look old? It don't matter.
And all women think they look younger than they do too. So what's the problem?
Nobody brought up her age, Quentin.
No, I'm just saying that's the narrative. Like, I'm just telling you what it is. This is why people in her comments roll, because I'm sure this wasn't the first guy. She probably had a lot of sex before she picked the guy.
But
that's fact.
What would it matter?
Why would it matter? It matters because why didn't she pick the good guy from the beginning? Why did she wait to sleep around to finally pick the good guy and tell the women pick the good guy? Like as if that's what people are supposed to do. No one should have to tell anyone pick the good guy, because if she has to tell other women pick the good guy, so that means women are picking the bad boy. I mean, we know they do that, but I'm saying, think about it. That's crazy that we actually have to tell another human being that pick the person who's good for you.
Don't matter to her husband. I don't know why it matters to strangers on the internet who happen to
because
have
it's on the internet.
nothing masculine to do outside of listen to a woman talk
because
to women.
Because it's on the internet. If she didn't put it on the internet, they wouldn't have it to talk about.
I think she could be talking to young people. She could be telling them to marry the nerd and not marry the dusties. Like, it doesn't have to be to women who are older and have, experienced it. Maybe she's talking to just all females in general. Like, younger people can hear that message and think like, maybe I shouldn't be dealing with a certain type of guy. So I don't think what she said was wrong. I think a lot of women do that. I think a lot of women have messed with the wrong type of guy and then they try to settle down with the good guy. We see it all the time. So I don't think what she said was warranted guys to be.
You don't think that what she said is crazy?
To marry the nerd?
Well, the fact that she classified them as nerds is
the sex part.
Let's get that part out the way. Crazy.
He
might like being called a nerd.
No, the whole dirty sock thing, I'm confused about that. But from what I seen in the video, it just I just took what she said as just marry the good guy, not the bad guy. I just looked at it as simple as that.
She said, I've slept with guys with dirty socks, Nike.
No, I didn't hear this.
Like,
Man,
nigga,
Dusty.
Nigga,
dirty socks.
Nigga, if I'm going to have some
in abundance, are we not going to act like dusty men are not in abundance?
Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Like, if I'm going to sleep with a woman and I got on slides, I'm not gonna wear a pair of dusty socks. Like, it's hard to keep white socks white. Let's be clear. So this has to be like, it's hard.
The dusty socks part was wild. Like, that part
they're like clean and dusty. They may be like off-white. Like I don't understand.
Where are you walking? Like through the valley of the shadow of death? Like,
okay. Everyone got white socks. Everyone's white socks are white forever. All right, man. Y'all niggas, y'all say the dumbest shit, nigga. White socks are hard to keep white.
Quentin is in his feelings right now. I mean, I get what he's trying to say, but I don't think. I think they're missing the point. It's not even about the dirty socks. I think she used dirty socks to try to make it known that those are the bad guys. So she classified the dirty socks as the bad boys she used to sleep with, but now she chose to sleep with a nerd, which is the good guy.
Buy some black ones.
I do. I have a lot of black socks. Shut up.
All
y'all
right.
niggas is out here like y'all just keeping white shit white all the time, nigga. No. Y'all
He
niggas
always
don't
lets you know when we can't
because
identify.
y'all don't live in the real world, nigga.
Why do you
white
always
shit doesn't white stuff doesn't stay white forever.
Why do you lash
Even
out?
white people ain't white. They red and they blue and like what you talking about?
Why do you lash out when we don't agree with you?
So weird.
It's not when y'all agree with me. It's like this is normal. This is like a thing that needs to be fixed in human life. Like, how can we keep the whites white? Like that's like a thing. And y'all acting like, oh my God, you can't keep your white socks white. I put them motherfuckers in hot water. I throw some motherfucking Clorox in them shit, and the motherfuckers still don't be white as when I bought them.
You crashing out on the
They're
white.
not supposed to get black in the first place.
Quentin, but if you're gonna wear slides, why not put on a brand new pair of socks if they're gonna be
That's
showing?
what I was saying before y'all.
I can't believe they're fighting over socks. This is crazy.
Y'all crashing on me for not being. You better keep my white socks white.
With the
This sound like a high conversation.
Maybe she was exaggerating.
I just know if I'm going to a woman's house, I'm gonna get my new black pair of socks and not my white ones because they may not be crispy white.
No, get white so you can see if she mop her floor so you can walk around her house. Just saying.
And that's how your socks stay white. You clean your floors and you're only barefoot at home.
Once they walking around in shoes and the shoes getting dusty.
You're when you have on white socks, you're not always walking on clean stuff.
About some socks. I thought we were talking about
like everything ain't always clean all the time. Like
I agree, Brittany. This nigga start crashing out about socks.
I'm like, why are we still talking about these socks? We know that the socks was dusty. Okay, I was just basing off of what she said. I didn't even hear the sleeping with part. I just heard hers.
I'm gonna play it one more time for you. Give me a second.
Okay.
You don't even be listening.
I wasn't.
You know, back when I was still having sex with men who wore Adidas slides and dirty white socks, you know the ones. I wish I could tell me then that I'd be married to like a whole ass pediatrician sitting outside in our backyard by the fire he built me, drinking an old fashioned, waiting for him to come downstairs to join me because he's putting our kids to bed. Marry the nerd.
See, the problem is we don't.
Little bird.
That nerd could have been in dusty white socks, banging on chicks back in his day, but we don't know because he ain't putting it on the internet.
Well,
I think that the bigger issue is that she's embarrassing him.
Yeah.
That's the biggest issue. Is that
yeah, it's more like, okay, see, I slept around and finally I found a man who's gonna accept me for it. Because that's what women are saying. The reason women don't want men to talk about body counts or men to be worried about their past is because they want to be able to have the right to sleep around, which they have, but also they want men to accept them later. In other words, because every woman has met a good guy, and I've said that like a million times. Every woman you meet, you take on a date. This is for the men. Every woman you take on a date has met a good man. The question should be is asking, how come, actually multiple good men. The question should be, how come she wasn't able to keep any of those guys? That's because she didn't want to. She was in her live life phase, her hot girl summer phase. So after she's done with that phase, she's going to expect you to be the good guy when she's done doing whatever she was doing.
Yeah.
She's making him look. She's making him look.
First and foremost, if I'm presenting myself with my husband, everybody else who sees me with him needs to think that I was a virgin before him. It's not their business what I did before him.
Facts.
Oh, come on. Nobody think women is virgin these days. So
You
I
can
don't
think
even
what
think
you want. I'm not going to confirm it for you.
Most men want a freaky deaky.
But here's
the world to know.
Here's a difference. Here's the difference. She didn't just say I wasn't a virgin. She said that the niggas I was fucking her was dusty.
That's great.
Now that could be very well be true, but why are you making him look stupid by saying that out loud?
Because she doesn't respect.
Why volunteer information to make this nigga look like he is simp? and that he got the rest of you and everybody got the rest. Like, you don't have to say that out loud. Why would you put that on the internet? And she's doing it for clout. She's doing it for clout.
She's doing it for women, but those are not going to be the only people that see it. Some of his people are going to see it, and you've made this dude look like, oh, I picked her up. I picked her up out the mud and brushed her off, and now I'm running around running errands for her or whatever. Like, it's not a good look.
Yeah, looking at it from that perspective, because at first I didn't look at it like that either, but you saying it like that makes sense to me. Like, yeah, her putting it on the internet saying it, and then now looking at her saying, like, marry the nerd, that does kind of make it look a little like you didn't have to say it. So now I get why men are saying something about it.
Make him look like a sucker.
Now I see, like, because from the male perspective, now I'm seeing why the men have backlash for her. Because they're looking
like, why? I don't see it. Y'all just
of course, Mali. Of course. Who knew? Who knew Mali doesn't have an issue with women sleeping around and then choosing a good man later? Who knew? Who could have thought? Who could have thought? No one is surprised. You know, if you've seen me react to Mali, or if you have watched her on the show, on Anton Daniel's show, you know she's a feminist, you know. But I'm not surprised, you know. And plenty of women, like I said, they would rather sleep around and also be able to meet the good guy. They always pray to God to give them a good man after they've done whatever they've done.
If a chick say, yo, man, I was in a space to where I used to let niggas run trains on me all day, but I finally got with this man right here, and you know, like, fuck.
Because even
if he knows, why the world got to know that you had a train ran on you before I got to you?
Mm-hmm.
Did she say she had a train ran on her?
No,
but she might as well. They're gonna take it the same way. Even if
men are gonna take it the same way, but it's not, if the target audience ain't men, I wouldn't care what a man think. This is for the ladies. Hey, date the man who's going to be an actual provider and worth something. Don't be dating the dusties. Women do need to hear from other women. Leave these dusties alone. What's wrong with that? She learned her lesson. She has a happy life, a happy marriage, children. And it's like, if that's what people want from women and society expects, why would we get mad because she was a dusty at some point before that?
Do we gotta know you slept with plenty of dusties?
Men.
Why y'all? But y'all, most women have slept with a dusty at some point in their life. Like, as a woman to be telling other women who have the results, oh, but you shouldn't have said this. You making your husband.
You make me look like a sucker in public.
She never showed her husband. Like,
she didn't have to.
It don't take long for the internet.
People know her.
Here's the thing. It's not just to like. It's not just
your wife was on the internet.
It's not just the people that don't know you. I'm pretty sure it's family, friends, colleagues. It may be some of his work friends that may be watching it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the reach is crazy. Like, you might embarrass him amongst his partners and the people that he work with and all of this shit. And it's like, yo, the fuck? What you talking about? You used to fuck with niggas with Nike tech suits and shit? Nah, you can't do that. Even if it was true, don't say it to them.
She just said, if somebody would have told me I would have went from dating Dusties to having this great man who's a pediatrician, great husband, like, that's kind of what she was getting at. Like she wouldn't have expected it, but she got it. She's trying to tell women, don't waste your time with a dusty man. Just go ahead, get the cheat code, and date the one worth dating.
But she could have said that instead of mentioning her own
those words.
Which, like,
what did she say? She said, if somebody had told me, blah, blah, like, it sounded like she's trying to save women from.
She said, you know, I've been dating plenty of men.
What from some of these women is what I don't understand.
We want them to shut up. You know, we want them to shut up, because the truth is, most men are never going to know the real body count of the women they get married to, especially if she's not a virgin. Most women are going to lie. Some of them these days are even saying they're born again virgins after they find Jesus at 35. They lie to their men and say they've never had sex. So most men, I mean, it doesn't take rocket science for the average man to know that he'll never find out the true body count of a woman he's trying to marry. So we know that. But for a woman to go on the internet and talk about how she used to sleep around, but now she found a good man to accept her, And that's where men are having issues, because most men don't want to be the sucker guy. They don't want to be the guy she settled down with after she was done with Hot Girl Summer. Most men don't want to be that guy.
Or is it just y'all
Exactly,
just mad
Lex.
because men are mad?
No, so here's the thing.
Like, let's
So
find out. Like,
should
why
she-
is us as women really mad about this? Her message.
So
I don't
we don't
understand.
care about what the men at large think.
One
right?
mic, one mic.
We don't care about what the men at large think. She shouldn't care about what the men at large think, but she should care about what that one man thinks, and you should protect him and cover him the best of your abilities, not put all your business out in the street. If you're walking around, you met this man with children, you still need to present yourself as a virgin to the strangers on the street.
Facts.
Like it's not.
And that's maybe that's how her content is. I'm sure this man knows his wife. Like, why, if he not complaining, I don't understand why anybody else is complaining. I don't see the problem. What message do y'all want women to? Y'all want women to lie to each other and say, "Oh yeah, stay a virgin," even though we all getting bust down. Like, come on.
That's way over stretch.
And the ones that are who's
Yo, it's very rare to see women on the panel against Mali, because Mali is the biggest feminist on the panel. So I'm surprised. I'm in shock. Usually Mali and Kimi agree, but I'm surprised to see, and this one as well, but I'm surprised to see all of them against Mali, which they are right. As a woman, okay, you've been sleeping around. You don't have to tell the internet you've been sleeping around if you are married. And especially because I can guarantee you, she wasn't telling her husband she used to sleep around with bad boys and she chose him because he's a nerd.
marrying them.
That's way.
But I did say that the message can still stand as far as.
So
like
she
I
should
said,
just.
She could be talking to young people saying to date the good guy. But again, there's a way of relaying that message without putting your own personal business out there. Just like how you said it. I agree.
Well, most people get up here and put their personal business out there. Why she can't do it?
And a lot of times they probably shouldn't. But are they doing it to where it can make their man or woman look bad? Then that's more so what we're talking about. Like, you can put.
He looks bad to y'all. He might not care. He looks bad to you guys.
Okay, let's say for instance,
he might not care what y'all think.
And she didn't look bad. Why she study making videos trying to justify stuff for what people saying about her? Then why couldn't you just leave it?
She was addressing the men.
I think that 99.
And I don't understand why they're mad.
99.99999% of most people care about what people think about them on the internet. People be caring. Celebrities care. Content creators care. Regular people care. I think that people be caring. And I think that she embarrassing that nigga.
I don't see it.
But you're not a man. You're not going to think like a man thinks.
Yeah. I'm not a man.
I'm gonna think like a person.
If I was a man, I wouldn't be concerning myself what women is saying on the internet all day.
I'm gonna think like a person thinks.
At the very least, guys may not necessarily care what you think about them, but they may care about what you think about their girl or whatever. And so, like, it's other things. You know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't have to volunteer to. She could have just said, "Yo, if you would have told me that, I'd have been with a pediatrician or whatever, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah." But then she had the nigga that with the dirty socks and the fucking Nike tech suit fucking her over. Like,
what's so bad about the Nike tech suit? I don't get that.
Because some women don't even see nerds or those kind of good guys on their radar. Like, sometimes you might need a woman to tell you, like, that's a possibility. Probably don't. Some of these women are young. Some of them don't have mothers. Like, I think
that's not true. I said it before and I'll say it again. The average woman has met at least 5 good men in her life. Now, for whatever reason, she didn't end up with them. They're not tall enough. They're not rich enough. They're not, cool enough. For whatever reason, she doesn't want to stay with a good man. But the average woman walking, any single woman has come across a good man in her entire life. That is true. So yes, every woman has met a good man. So don't tell, when you hear a woman saying no good men out here, they're literally in their friend zone. Sometimes they friend zone them. Sometimes they leave them on red. Sometimes they want to call them brothers. Oh, he's like a brother to me. Shit like that.
We have created a culture to where men just hate anything women say. And you got some women who are going to rally around it because, oh yeah, well, the male perspective.
But I don't think women these days want nobody to tell them nothing at this point because
I agree.
I agree.
Like,
I think that
what can you tell women without it being some
can judge
backlash?
y'all. Nobody can judge women nowadays.
Well, stop
Nobody can
judging
say,
them.
like, hey,
What y'all
it
judging
ain't
them
about,
for?
no, nobody could point out anything that women do without it being,
hold them
oh, it's an
accountable.
attack on women. It's not always an attack.
Well, she
And
said
if
she
you
was being
represented me,
attacked in her
if I have
comments
any,
about what she made.
if I have
and
any
then
ties to you as a person, what I look like getting on social media saying, there, girl, back in my day, me and all my friends today, we done slid through a whole bunch of niggas. Like, what, girl, don't say
that's
that.
not what she said, though. So why are we making that about what she said?
She
That's not
just
what
said she got bent
the
over.
point that was that even the point of her
She was
message?
sleeping with men with dirty white socks and flip flops. Did you have to put that in there, or could you say, "Hey,
y'all
get
took
with the pediatrician,
everything
get with
great
the nerd."
that she was putting on her husband away from him and her to focus on the dirty socks
No,
and
because you
Adidas
put
slides.
everything
All I'm
good
getting
away.
you right now.
It's the same.
Everything
No,
else
we
that
sitting
her
here
main
good
focus
because
the
she said
message
dirty
was
white
about.
socks.
And y'all said, oh, well, because she was
No,
with
no,
Justin.
you can't be disingenuous, Molly.
Most women have gotten
We
played by
stop listening to dirty white socks.
That's y'all fault. That's y'all problem.
So
That's
the issue
fault.
is that all of the good things that she said about her husband took on a different connotation because she mentioned the dirty socks and these other dudes running behind her, or her running behind them first. Had she just said, marry the
Some
nerd,
of us is from the hood and it be Dusties running around
that
in
may be the
Adidas
case.
and Nike
But what I'm
slides.
saying is, we
Sometimes you
didn't
might
have
need
to
a woman to
overlook
say,
the good things she said about her
date
husband,
the
because she did
nerd.
it for us.
I am 100% in agreement for the first time tonight with the non-threatening black man. I stopped listening right after she said dirty socks. I was like, shit. Honestly, my mind went to, oh, they fucked the shit out of her. They probably ran a train on her, got the best out of her.
With
all of that shit.
Yeah, because it's true. Anything you say, if you're in a relationship, marriage, if anything you say on the internet, it's literally representing the other person. So if a woman comes on the internet talking about the men she used to deal with, the people who know her and the people who know the husband, the boyfriend, are going to be looking at her sideways. Why are you speaking about the men you used to sleep around with, yet you're in a relationship? That means she literally doesn't respect the man she's with. And the truth is, most women don't respect the good man. And I believe the reason they don't respect the good man, especially after they're done with the streets, they're done being clapped around, they're done sleeping with a bunch of guys. The reason they're so confident to come on the internet and talk about the things they used to do before finding the good man is because they know the good man will always be there. And I honestly believe that could be the issue. If women knew, so let's say the age 25, from age 25 to age 35, women always meet good men, but they don't settle down with them. But the reason they are not, dying to settle down with a good man and they still want to be in the streets and do whatever they want is because they really believe the good men will always be available at 45 when they're ready to settle down. The same way women continue having babies and with a bunch of men, because they know they're going to be a bunch of men waiting at around age 45 to be stepfathers. If women knew the moment she has a baby with a man and she doesn't stay with that man, no man will ever want to be a stepfather, they wouldn't continue having babies out of wedlock. I'm telling you. And this is why I said, I said, the only way to end this shit, so whether it's divorce, whether it's having kids out of wedlock, having kids when you're not married, the only way to end it is for the government to put a tax on people who have babies before getting married. So that means no child support for the woman who sleeps with a man and they're not married and she has a kid. But what's going to happen is if you have a baby and you're married, they're going to increase your taxes to around 45 to 55% taxes. So you're going to suffer more, so you don't get government support. Instead, you get more taxed. So if a woman divorces a man because she's not happy, she gets taxed more. Instead of getting spousal support, instead of getting alimony, she gets taxed more. That will reduce the divorces, but also that will reduce the single mother rate. And this is why I told you that, until there are serious consequences for women sleeping around with the bad boys, hoping they find a good man to accept them later, we got to put serious consequences. Until then, this is going to go on. 100 years from now, it's going to be the same thing. Because whatever the woman does, she teaches her daughters. The daughters do the same thing, and the cycle repeats. I could be wrong, so put it in the chat. I could be wrong. What's the solution for women sleeping with the bad boys and then expecting a good man to accept them later. You gotta have a solution. Other than that, I honestly believe they believe that good men will always be available at the end of the road. So when they hit 45 and they're done with the streets and they find Jesus and they become good born again virgins, that's why they're asking the good men to wait until marriage. You know, I'm done sleeping with the bad boys. I gave it up on the first date. You know, I had a bunch of one-night stands. I didn't make those bad boys wait. But you, the good guy, now that I have 3 kids, you gotta wait until after marriage for us to sleep together. You know, I could be wrong. All right, but anyway, shout out to Anton Daniels. Let's keep cooking. Like the video, man. Like the video. All right, where we going next? I did that. Oh. All right, we have Miss Smell the Roses. Here you go. All right, hold on. Should be good, yeah, right? Yeah. I could try that. Let me see real quick. Okay, it's not a big difference. All right, let's go.
Go ahead.
So I'm with Mr. Fantastic on this all the way. Okay. Since I've been watching, and it's been for a few hours now that I've been watching, this woman has been saying some of the most horrific things about her own community. Okay. Yeah, you have been. And
Y'all
it's
are
very
not my community.
You're hiding in the
Let
dark.
her finish, please.
You're hiding in the dark. Your microphone is hiding your mouth. You sound very dusty while you sit up here and talk about what men need to be making and that their Black men are broke and all these things about Black men when you look the dustiest. Yes. And all this
now,
stuff
you don't
that you
even
have,
believe that. You
all
don't
this
even believe that.
frustration that you have, this disappointment in Black men, you should go seek some therapy about that. And I'm very happy to hear that you aren't a mother, because I think you'd be a terrible mother.
Damn.
Yeah.
I agree.
Just like you are likely a terrible girlfriend, a terrible friend. Okay.
Oh,
you.
No.
Oh, no. Yeah, right. So all the women in your family are so perfect. You're so perfect. Right. But no man will be with you, not even an African. And while you're sitting up here trying to juxtapose American Black men with Africans, okay, what do African men do to little girls, or some African tribes do to little girls in their culture?
Damn.
So there is not one better than the other. It just sounds like you are a POS.
Nini interrupted. 1 second. Nini interrupted. Don't interrupt her, please. Let her get a full thought.
That was cute and everything, but at the end of the day, I have my preferences. If I don't like American Black men, that's just what the fuck it is, and nobody's gonna do shit about it. Everything you said about me, you don't even believe what the fuck you said about me. You waterhead, because even you don't even look better than me, bitch. So you might want to keep it the cute,
right?
Come on. Yeah,
I'm not hiding anything.
And you don't. I'm
not sitting in the dark. My microphone is covering my mouth.
Who am I? What am I hiding from?
Your hair looks.
I'm talking like a dusty mess. So y'all can hear me.
You look like a dusty mess.
And why is this bitch interrupting me? I'm talking. Okay, that's what the fuck I thought. Like I was saying. Anyways, like I said, regardless, I do not like American Black men. It just is what it is. I don't hate y'all. I just don't like y'all. And my preferences and my own fucking experience. I don't give a what this ugly Smell the Roses has to say. Damn. It is what it is. Who the gonna check me? Who gonna beat my?
She just
who
did.
Whoop
me? Who gonna twirl me? Like nobody.
Nobody
what else did you say? What else did you say?
Reflection that you put
what
out
else
there.
Did you say? You don't look better than me. So what are we really talking about?
See, that's a projection. That's a
It's not a
projection. It's
projection,
because you
it's
know
a
that I
reality.
do.
You
And that's
don't.
fine. I
To
don't
be
with
fair,
raggedy, dusty women like you are.
to be fair, we can clearly see exactly what Miss Smell the Roses looks like, but she's a married woman, so I don't want to comment on her looks. But we can't see half of your face; it's kind of hiding. Now, if you're gonna attack American men, I don't mind people having their preferences, but if the preference that you have, so let's say she says she prefers African men over American men, if she doesn't have an African man, because I'm thinking she's single, then clearly your preferences isn't the issue. Then you are the issue. So women can have all the preferences they want. 6-figure, this type of man, white man, African man. But if those so-called preferences that you want or have don't want you and you're still single, clearly it's not the preference of the issue. The issue is you. So you got to look in the mirror. All right, let go.
All my life. That's how I can clearly point out that you're hiding in the dark. You have a microphone up to your mouth because you are ashamed of your yuck mouth. You're ashamed of your yuck mouth. You claim that you're with all these rich men, but none of them have fixed your teeth.
So that you can hear
You
me,
need to get your teeth fixed.
I'm talking, and I still look better than you.
You
I
don't.
still look better than
You
you.
don't.
On any day
You
of the
look like
week,
a wombat.
the month,
You
the
look like a
year,
wombat.
Anything. I look better than you. I'm
You
not
don't.
hiding in no dark. This is my room. You want me to turn on the light
in the dark?
You, bitch.
You're
This
hiding.
This is how am I hiding?
You're hiding your mouth. You're hiding.
No, I'm
You're
not.
just
I'm
sitting in the
speaking
dark.
in the
You're
microphone
hiding. We
so that
can
you
peep
can
it.
hear me.
We
I'm
see
speaking
you.
in the microphone so you can hear me. Bitch. I'm not
Right.
hiding nothing.
Because you probably
What
can't
else?
clip it down to your
What
desk
else?
because that's how dusty
What
you
else?
are.
What else? It's always an ugly that's hating on a pretty. Like, get over it. I
It's
said what
not-
the fuck I
it's
said,
not
and
reality.
it's not going to change.
It's not
I said
reality,
what I
Nene.
said, and it's not going to change. So what you gonna do about it? Nothing.
You have
Just for context, because I know if you're watching this on playback, she attacked American men. She said she doesn't like American men. She prefers black African men. So pretty much Smell the Roses is trying to, obviously defend American men because, American men are always being attacked and always being compared to other men around the world, the so-called providers. So that's why she's defending American men. But obviously, when it comes to the ladies, looks are going to come into the topic. It's always the topic of contention when women are fighting. But look at Melanie. Melanie is looking and surprised when she had her own fight not too long ago, which I reacted to. I'll post that soon.
self-hate towards your own culture, which is very horrible.
I don't
It's
give a fuck
horrifying.
about black people. Y'all, I said what the fuck I said. What you mean?
So that
It's
means
fuck you.
F
It's
you
fuck
too.
them. It's
That
fuck
means F
everybody.
you too. You are also a woman,
said
a
what
part
the
of the
fuck
black
I said.
community.
I'm
You
not
don't
a
get
part
that?
of you
Well, no.
motherfuckers. I'm
Hold
not
on.
a part of you
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
Like black
Yes,
women.
you
Yes, hold on.
are.
Yes,
Are you
well, hold
not?
on. No.
I'm
No, so
not
what's
a part of
hold on.
y'all. Not
Yeah,
at
you're right.
all.
You're right.
And
Hold
I
on.
will
Hold on.
never
Let's
be a
start over.
part
The
of you.
self-hate is
question.
very
I'm not a
sad.
part
That's
of
why
you,
you're
and I'm
sitting in
never
the
gonna be
dark.
a part of
Let me
you,
ask you a
bitch.
question. I got it. So hold on. So you told us your dad was Black American. What's your mom?
Both of my parents are Black American.
Okay,
Wombat.
so you're still not a part of y'all.
No, I'm not a part of you motherfuckers. Not at all.
So you don't like
She's a wombat,
so you don't like your
Mr.
mom either?
Fantastic.
Hold on, real quick.
So I'm saying, so you don't like your mom either? I'm confused now. So better yet, better
Oh,
question.
I love my mom. What do you mean?
Yeah, that's just quite the question. So if you're not a part of the black community, what community are you a part of? Who do you belong to? What do you identify
I'm
with?
not a part of ugly bitches like Roses.
And she
I'm
had
not
the
a
nerve
part
to
of you
call
at all.
Coach Greg Adams broke, but look at how dusty she looks.
Yeah, but
You don't even believe that I look dusty. You
do
just
look
out here
dusty.
talk, I look dusty
All
Really?
night, all
Really?
night. You look dusty.
Really?
Yeah,
Nothing about
that's why
me
you're
look
on the
dusty.
main street. That's why you're
Nothing
up there
about me
because you look dusty
at all. Nothing
Yeah,
about me look dusty at all.
So you don't so that's what I'm saying. So you don't identify as black people, whatever, right? You don't. Nobody cares. Nobody can whoop you. Nobody
A
can do.
specific type of black people I don't fuck with. No.
Oh, now it's specific, Mr.
Yeah, but that-
Fantastic.
It's
Now
always been
she
specific.
wants to
It's-
clean it
it's
up now.
always been
Yeah, she
specific.
clean.
It's
you said,
always been specific.
yeah, but do you see how that's what I'm saying? But you see how you have to backtrack several times to change or
I've
clean up.
never backtracked. I've
You
never
literally did though, and it's the wonderful.
Yeah, she just did. She doesn't. She says she doesn't. She's not part of the black community, even if she's a black woman. But now she's saying it's a specific type of. And this is why I said the way you talk about where you come from or your people, wherever you're trying to go. In this instance, she's trying to attract African men. No sane African man is going to take her on, seeing the way she talks about her own people. You feel me? So I'm guessing she's FBA or something like that. I don't really get into that, all that. But no African man is yet. Now, they may choose her because for whatever reason, maybe they find her good looking. But I'm just saying the way she speaks about our own people, that's scary. That's not someone you can trust.
Thing about these, well, let me explain to you, right? Well, you can say you didn't, but we seen it on tape. That's one of these.
I've never backtracked. I've
You
never
really have, because before it was
Do you identify yourself as an American black woman?
Do I what?
What do you identify? Do you
Fetty is a first generation European. I'm technically 100% African, right? This is what I identify. I'm I don't know if the term African European, but I'm European with African blood. What do you identify it as? If you had
Okay,
to tell,
so
yes.
I didn't say it earlier, but there's really a specific type of Black American that I don't like. Like if you are a Black American that you know you're not from the hood, you're not from, or not even not from the hood, you don't have a ghetto mentality. Those are the types of Black people that are Black Americans that I typically get along with. I don't like ghetto Black Americans.
Okay, so now that you said what you don't like, can you say who are you? Well, how do you identify yourself?
I'm a Black person from America.
So you're a Black American.
All right, great. Okay, cool. So
yes, but I'm not the type of Black person.
We know you're not a nigga. You're just a Black American. Okay,
we got you. So hold on. So what about you don't make you exactly like the people you say you don't like? Because all of your demeanor, all of your language, your vernacular,
it is a mentality. It's not how somebody speaks. It is a mentality.
No, it literally is how you speak.
No, it's not how you speak.
It doesn't get it. Culture is how people speak, how people behave, what they believe in. So their beliefs, culture could be their mentality, could be part of culture. You know, the way they live their life, the things they do, the things they associate with. That's part of culture. So yes, the way you speak, mama, is part of culture. So if you speak like the angry Black woman, you're going to be part of that. It's part of it.
It's not ghetto.
So I got to roll this. Hold on.
No, it's not ghetto. Not at all. Because if I was ghetto, I would be on here talking about I like Pookie and Tyrone and I got 3, 4.
It's not all about that. It's not all about that.
That's to me what Black American is. A specific type of Black person.
So let's do a little test real quick, right? So if a person was the hood of hoods, right? They grew up in the projects, they grew up in the bricks, right? And they never opened their mouth to say a word, right? They never did anything ratchet, but that's how they thought. How the fuck would you ever know?
What do you mean? I just said that. Okay, first of all, my best friend. I have one best friend we've been best friends.
Well, answer the question first.
I am answering your question. We've been best friends for 20 plus years. Okay. This is my only friend, my only female friend. We've been best friends for only 20 years. She is a Black American, but she is not the type of Black American that I do not like. She is not ghetto. She has both of her parents. She did not grow up in the hood, or even if she did grow up in the hood, she does not have that hood mentality.
Where did you grow up?
I do not like hood mentality.
Yeah, but hold on. Where did you grow up?
Sounds to me like she has good mentality, if I'm going to be honest. I live from the way she's speaking and her body language, because, communication, body language is part of communication. So.
What do you mean, where did I grow up?
Exactly what I said. Did you grow up in suburbia? Hold on. Did you grow up in the suburbia? Did you grow up in the hood?
50-50.
Thank you. All right. So again, you see how you keep doing that, and because we.
But hood to me is a mentality.
Clarify real quick, Mr. President, are you representing non-hood niggas?
Hood is a mentality.
Hey, 1 second. Y'all agree with each other?
Yeah, you keep saying.
I don't know. What is the fight about? Y'all don't like niggas. Okay, fair. This is why. Like, what is the disagreement about?
Well, no, it's not about not
That's
like.
what I'm trying to understand. What is the agreement? If you do not consider yourself as a hood ghetto white,
she's selective. She's selective about how she's considering. You know, you're being selective.
I have an issue with the type of black people that I don't like.
Because not even that. Ali, she's exactly the person she dislikes. She is that.
I agree. I agree. But we need you two things to do. One, you're only using it when it benefits you. So if we see somebody like hood, you're gonna say that's a hood person. I know you're not getting nobody because you're not intellectual. You're not classy. You act hood. That when if it's you or somebody you like, it's not how they behave. It's their mentality.
You got bastard kids. You are not married. So please suck my dick, okay?
Damn.
So don't
Oh my God.
You could. If you was Ali, if you was me, this will be Sparta kick.
Nope.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
It's more demonstration of mentality. So it don't.
But you pulled back when we started talking about her shady ass father.
Yeah.
You see how she does that?
When she says now, 1 second. For the sanctity of the show and for the situation, you can't talk about the men that impregnate minors in every space. That motherfucker is a monster. Okay.
I don't even believe her, but okay,
but
I get it.
Once again, y'all don't believe it because y'all woman. Y'all woman. Y'all like to talk about that y'all shooting. Okay.
Oh my God. Oh my God. So she just attacked Ali, and Ali was just making a simple point. I'll play it back because Ali just simply said something, and then she just went right here for no good reason.
That I don't like.
Because not even that. Ali, she's exactly the person she dislikes. She is that.
I agree. I agree. But we need you two things to do. One, you're only using it when it benefits you. So if we see somebody like hood, you're gonna say that's a hood person. I know you're not getting nobody because you're not intellectual. You're not classy. You act hood. That when if it's you or somebody you like, it's not how they behave. It's their mentality.
You got bastard kids. You are not married. So please suck my dick, okay? So
she just went on a lead. Look at look at Mr. Fantastic's face. He didn't say nothing wrong to attack her, to insult her. You see, this is what I told you. Because she says she doesn't like American men. So maybe that's why she's talking to Ali in a crazy way. But this is why I said that, okay, she doesn't like American men. She hates American men. But any man who's going to go with her, because she says she prefers African men. So any African man who's going to choose her and watches this, she may just, take you out because this is scary.
If you could, if you was Ali, if you was me, this will be Sparta kick.
Nope.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
It's more demonstration of mentality. So it don't.
But you pulled back when we started talking about her shady ass father.
Yeah.
You see how she does that?
When she says now, 1 second. For the sanctity of the respectfully, let's stop for now. I want Ali again. If it was me, this will be a Sparta kick. Ali, you deal with it. Oh, you want to deal with it, but the microphone is on Ali, and he will say what he needs to say. Go ahead.
She's demonstrating how she has a hood mentality and doesn't know terminology again. What's a bastard?
Why would I lie?
No, I didn't ask you. What
a bastard are children who are born to parents who are not married.
No, a bastard is children without fathers. That's a bastard.
No, a bastard is a kid who don't born to
a bastard
parents who
a
don't
bastard
have,
is a child without a father.
I said what I said.
So you don't know terminology.
I said what I said. You're not married. You're not married. You're not married.
So I have to
You are not married.
You gonna cut me off? We're gonna have an intellectual conversation because you're the intellectual one, right?
Go ahead.
Does that validate me? If it doesn't validate you, y'all say all the time you don't have to be married, you don't need kids, you don't need to have a family.
I got no sound. So she's right. It says a bastard is a person born to parents who are not married to each other. So she's right.
but you'll turn right back around.
I
and
never
project
said
it. Let me finish. You'll project right back around and say why it needs to be important for the men to get married or the women to get married, and you'll call them pick-me's. Why is it important for me to be married when I have kids, but it's not important for you to be married and you single and without no kids?
And she's out here having sex out of marriage, being a
I don't have Roses. You shut your ugly ass up. You look like you need a cheeseburger.
Hold on. You don't need
you look like
I'm asking you if you have validation without having
out
children
here having sex without being married.
You still turning up.
Roses, you was not a virgin when you got married. So please.
I'm married now, 19
years.
years.
You was not a virgin when you got married.
I'm married now.
So
you out here judging Ali, but you out here having sex for free, and no man will fucking wife you.
Married when you got married. You was not a virgin when you got married.
I'm married 19 years, so whoever I was messing with decided to marry me.
I have a more.
Judging Ali.
One second. One second, friends. I have a more important question, right? If you are not like, who else other than a old says to a man, suck my dick? Like for my understanding of American culture, only women that wear Timberlands and walk around suck my dick. Like, you are literally the reflection of the person you say you will stay away from. What separates you? A woman that is calling, oh, you bastard, suck my dick and all that. Like, Nini, give me something that separates you from the wood rat and the woman that you say that you hate. Like, what separates you from her?
She's the same.
Because, like I said, Ali is up here passing judgment on everybody.
I ask a question. Answer the question and talk about. Answer the question and then talk about Ali. Answer the question and talk about Ali.
Answering it right now.
Okay, so answer the question, please.
Like I said, if you are going to be on here talking,
shut up, silly woman.
She's going to get the call.
Oh my god! I don't know how they made it through because I haven't been on the panel in a while, but that was funny.
Old shower. Ali, I'm sorry, I can't do it.
He kicked her off.
Hey, fatty.
Oh, Fatty, come on.
Go ahead, Fiki. Huh?
At first, I'm gonna say this, right?
Damn, Fatty kicked her off. He's not playing. Anyway, shout out to Fatty, man. But that's the woman who hates American men. Imagine what men have to deal with her when they're in a relationship with her. You know, and this is why I said, if you find a woman who hates, because she said she hates American men and she hates her father. I did react to the first part yesterday. So that's why I say that if you meet a woman who hates her father and never speaks anything positive about her father, she will never respect you as a man. She's going to disrespect every man, whether she's in a relationship or not. Because when she attacked Ali, he hadn't said nothing crazy to her. Nothing. He was just trying to have a debate, and then she just spazzed on him. Crazy. Anyway, shout out to the untouchable. Let's go. So, guys, I went to the archive and got a video from way back then, almost 4 years ago, from the time when Anton Daniels was still on La Piste. You guys remember, if you guys were, you know, so we're gonna do that. All right, so let's go.
Edson, I wanted to I just got a job and I've been trying to get up enough money. I'm trying to join your Patreon. So I'm gonna get up enough money so I can join that and learn from you. But
send me an email, bro. I'll give you a couple complimentary months just to make sure you look out. You're a young boy. I gotta make sure you're taken care of.
It doesn't matter what's practical. It doesn't matter what's logical. It doesn't matter what people say you can do, what most people do, what is the statistic. Do what you want to do and go after it with everything you have. You have your whole life to work a regular ass job, to work a regular job, to do all those regular things.
Yep.
You are young. Go after your dreams with everything you got, because you can always go
be a regular adult.
Yeah, that's always.
You know what I'm saying? That's always the backup plan. But it's never the main plan. Oh, I need to do something practical. No, do exactly what you want to do. Put everything into it. Just because it doesn't work for the first time or the first opportunity or the first door, just keep going. Because the consistency is all it takes to get you there. And the belief in yourself is the thing that separates you to the person that's out there chasing that same dream.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So just go for it. Like, it don't matter what seems more logical or what's the smarter thing to do. Go after your dream with everything you got.
Okay, y'all not gonna be giving these people bad advice now. We're not having that.
I didn't give no bad advice. These people in the comments, they don't get it.
I'm not looking at the comments. I just know what listen. My number one
bad advice.
My number one thing is, and I tell these dudes all the time, fuck your dreams. Don't nobody give a fuck about your dreams. And we fuck
Find
your
something
dreams.
practical. I think that's what came.
Don't know. I said the
I don't say.
opposite.
I know you said the opposite of that. I say fuck your dreams. That's what I tell them.
My thing is, do something that is going to sustain what you need to be sustained.
No. That's
my
no.
For me,
gentlemen.
We got gas.
Tap in with Anton.
We got gas.
Gentlemen,
okay, we have gas.
Tap in with Anton. Trust me.
Real quick. Let me say this real quick.
Every last one of these, I'm richer than your favorite rapper. Let's be clear.
Young boy just said his daddy is in his life.
Yeah, that was amazing.
His daddy is his best friend.
Yep.
The only thing he needs to do, he can get the supplements from everywhere else. He need to lock in with his dad.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
I hear you.
Well, we didn't get enough
lock in with somebody.
That, though.
He needs to lock in with somebody that's outside of his circle that can push him in ways and teach him things that he has not normalized and gotten used to. We need to get outside of our comfort zone and align ourselves with people that's doing something completely different.
Say that for after.
I had a question for Anton. So I put it in the super chat, but I guess he didn't see it. I just wanted him to address when he said, fuck your dreams. No disrespect. I didn't take it offensively. I just want some perspective on what he meant.
You have a better chance, an infinitely better chance at being super duper successful by just being intentional and being disciplined and being focused on leveling up. You don't have to go into a lot of student debt in order to become successful. If you decide to go to college, maybe you should go into something that's actually going to be, good for you where you can write your own ticket. If you are intentional, right, and you decide not to fall into the same lulls that everybody else falls into as far as making sure that you become successful, you ultimately can write your own ticket. If you go into cybersecurity, if you go into software engineering, you can do anything you want to, and there is plenty of people that become millionaires every single day versus trying to play the lottery and the odds of following your dreams. Because a lot of times when people say follow your dreams, or when people follow their dreams, often at times they just do the thing that prolongs what they're going to have to do when they become an adult anyway. Right? There's a small chance of you making it into the NBA. It's a very, very, very small chance of you being a successful rapper. And even if you do, that does not mean that you're going to be successful long term, or that you even go make money doing it. Right? And if you decide to follow your dreams, you can do that in addition to whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing anyway. Right? I got a really good friend from Detroit, and he wound up being a pretty significant rapper. But while he was following his rap dreams, he also wound up becoming a doctor. He's a practicing physician today. My point is that if you're really trying to be successful, and if you really want to follow your dreams also, then you can do both. You can work full time, you can go to college, and then you can do whatever it is that you want to do on the side. You can nurture that dream. If it means that much to you, then you will dedicate yourself to being successful in that other thing while you're also taking care of your business as a man.
That's true, because usually the 9 to 5 funds the 5 to 9. And I think so many times we are sold the dream that whatever your dream is, whatever your purpose, your passion is, whatever you like to do, just do it, even if it doesn't pay no bills. But at the end of the day, you never know how long it's going to take for your dream to materialize and become a real thing where you can earn some income. So I agree. In the meantime, like if you think I'm gonna quit my job because I'm doing YouTube, you're crazy. Now, if I wake up tomorrow morning and I'm making $1 million a month on YouTube, then then I may have to quit my regular job. But that's true. Sometimes you have to do both until the one thing that you like to do can cover the income for your 9 to 5 and pay all your bills. I do agree with that.
You see what I'm saying? So my point is that don't nobody care about your dreams. I know a lot of dudes that I grew up with, and they over 40 today talking about they still gonna make it in the rap game. No, you're not. You broke. You still live with your mama. You in your mama's basement, and at some point you're gonna have to come to the realization I got to grow the F up, because don't nobody care about your dreams.
So when you
we only care about the results.
Okay, I can respect what you said. So when you say it, you're more talking about in the context of like a celebrity type career.
I'm talking about whatever it is. I don't care what your dreams is.
Okay, so let's say for me, from my personal example, when I was a kid, I like to build shit, right?
Make sure you keep it brief.
Sorry, man. The clubhouse that we played and all types of stuff, whatever. I ended up going to university for architecture. I didn't finish my degree. I had a couple more years left, but I ended up going into construction, which I feel was what I was kind of predestined for in a certain way. So in a sense where you're saying fuck your dreams, I mean, I get it. Like if you want to play basketball and whatever, that's not necessarily, it's a way to make money, lots of money, and very few people get that opportunity, but don't focus on that, have a plan B. In the sense where I'm not necessarily looking to be a basketball player, I'm looking to have a big construction company that, makes millions of dollars a year. That's my dream.
Okay, what does that have to do with what I said?
Absolutely. I kind of lost my point, but thank you for breaking that down. I really appreciate that, man.
You're welcome.
So I want to say something to this because I was the one that gave this advice. Why is it when people talk about dreams, people start talking about NBA players and rappers? And I'm glad that Cliff said that, because having a construction business is very much a viable dream, just like being a rapper. I think that that's what people think when you say, oh, follow your dreams, because people have like these fantasies. That's a fantasy. I'm not talking about like fantasies. I'm talking about actual dreams and what you want to do with your life. Versus, like, I have a really good friend that spent 10 years committed to chemistry and doing all of this, only to realize like she doesn't want to spend her life doing that. And then she moved to Serbia and became a huge graphic artist. You know what I'm saying? When she could have spent, instead of these years going and doing chemistry because that's practical, that makes money, that's what her parents wanted her to do, she wasted time instead of doing what she really wanted to do. And so then she was, felt like she, not behind the curve, but felt like she could have accomplished more by we're 30 now. She
didn't waste time, because sometimes you have to go through a certain experience to actually find out what you really want to do, or sometimes you have to go through something to actually get to what you really want to do. That's just life. Sometimes some people may end up playing sports only to find out they're destined to be sports coaches, sports managers. Sometimes, I don't know, you may have to gain weight, try to lose weight, only to find out you're destined to be a personal trainer. So I don't think it's any time lost. It's more of an experience that you can learn from.
Accomplish more in her career had she gone straight into it versus doing a job because it makes money. A lot of people make a lot of money and they're very fucking unhappy. Yep. Okay.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
Okay.
That's a lie.
That's your opinion. But I'm around people that
I know more poor people that's unhappy than rich people that's unhappy.
Again, we're not debating experiences. You can't invalidate mine and I can't invalidate yours. Yours is yours.
I absolutely can.
No, you can't. You can't, because you don't know everybody in the world and you don't know everybody. I know.
The average black man makes less than $50,000 a year.
Thanks for
And
having me
like
on,
I
guys.
said,
Ain't
and
no
like I said,
average black
Howard,
man makes less than
like I said,
$50,000 a year. Ain't no
I went
motherfucking
to,
body sitting here
I'm not
absolutely
surrounded by
ecstatic.
those people. I don't know what you're talking about. I went to
Come
Howard
on,
University.
stop it.
I went to Howard
Stop the
University
cap.
where one of my best friends is a huge actress in LA. One of my really good friends, Jay Murphy, is Jason Derulo's DJ. Chase B is
I can name 1,000 people that's famous that I know that's friends of mine too.
I can
What does that
name
mean?
3/4 of my circle that actually chased their dreams and went on to be successful. So you can sell whatever dream about how it's not practical to go after you want, if you wanted to be a professional makeup artist, which she went on to do and is working in LA. If you wanted to be a stylist, which Sankara literally works for Kevin Durant, works for Sweetie, I know people that are living their dreams, and I was one of them. And I delayed myself trying to do what my dad said and do all this practical ass bullshit until I moved to Miami and said, you know what, I'm going for my dreams. And then what happened? I was on tour with Pitbull. I've danced in multiple. I have a long dance resume in terms of me following my dreams and them coming true. Yeah, I was a ballerina and then I became a professional dancer. So if I went with what my dad said in terms of not follow my dreams, because only a certain ratio of women are going to be able to be on tour with Pitbull or do videos and shows with Nicki Minaj and do shows with DJ Khaled and all these things that I've done because someone told them that they couldn't do it. I mean, you can tote that if you want, but I lived the success. I've been around the people that have had the success. So I just can't go by like, just because these successes are in entertainment. I also know people who have successes in PR, who have successes and have a very successful plumbing company that he owns. He makes $200,000 doing plumbing. I know someone makes $200,000 a month doing insurance.
How much do you make?
Living out their dreams. That doesn't have to be entertainment. So I don't know. I just feel like when you're young and you're a kid, that is the time to go for your dreams. Not when you're 35 and you have a family.
You can go for your dreams when you're older.
When you're 18 and you can do whatever you want to do.
So let me break this down. I did a whole show on exactly how much people are making from what culture and what part of the world and how it is that they transition over into being successful here in America, right? It's a reason why Indian cultures, Asian cultures, are overwhelmingly dominating when it comes to household income. I don't use anecdotal experiences in order to justify my argument. I look at the majority, and the majority of Asian and Indian households. Listen, I'm an executive at a pretty large size company right now. When I get on these calls, right, and we're vetting different contractors or we're talking about different people that's making $250,000 a year, and they got $250,000 a year jobs because they're working from home and they can name their own salary and they write their own prices and they're making over $500,000 a year. And I see this regularly. You know what they look like? They're Asian, Indian, and white, and me. One black guy there. One black guy when I was in college in these classes. One black guy when it comes to being able to get these positions. One black guy that levels up that's outside of the role of diversity leader or some bull crap that they got, that they made a position so they can have a black guy or a black woman in there. The reality is that when you look at the overall majority, the people that are making the most money and getting all of the jobs that's worth having, that's going to transition as we continue to build out this new version of the internet called the metaverse, that they're hiring over 10,000 people over in this specific area in order to help build this out. When Microsoft allocate $25 billion instead of a $1 billion budget yearly in order to solve for the cybersecurity process. The problem is that we're not the ones that's in position to even be able to get these positions. There's whole countries and whole cultures that's dedicated to making sure that their kids and their people are getting all of the good jobs and all of the resources and all.
DJ Great Dane, she says she's a dancer. Did you see how she was mentioning how all these other people she's around make lots of money following their dreams? She says she's a dancer, but she didn't say how much money she makes. Because if she was really that successful, she would say people should chase their dreams to be dancers like me to make $500,000 a year. Because all Anton Daniels is saying, people can chase their dreams, but before those dreams take off, in the meantime, go to school, find a 9-to-5 job, do this in the meantime while you're chasing your dream, instead of where most people want to be rappers and they drop out of college. They want to be NBA players and they don't think about college. They want to be, a bunch of entertainers, but they don't have nothing to fall back on. But she's saying, instead of people, having a fallback plan, people should just go all out. And she's saying that people can't chase their dreams when they're older. And my point, and I think from Anton Daniel's perspective, I believe people can find their dreams anytime they want. As long as you're doing something productive, you can find your dream along the way. It doesn't have to be once. And people's dreams change all the time. That's why we see players turn into podcasters and turn into analysts that they never grew up wanting to be sports analysts, but they end up there. So people's dreams change all the time. As long as they're putting in the work, you're still gonna make it. But she thinks people should just focus on their passion.
All of the money. And then they decide what they want to do afterwards. And then they go and buy all of the property. And then they build all of their businesses and they fund all of their dreams and they empower their kids and they build real generational wealth. You don't do that on a hope and a dream. You do that based off of intentionality. So if we want to go off of small anecdotal experiences, that's cool. But if we want to go off real statistics and who's really getting all of the jobs and making all of the money, then we have to use real life experiences in order to illustrate exactly how people are being successful. And it's not by chasing your dreams, it's because they're groomed for these positions and they don't have a choice. If you want to go to college, these are the fields that you have a choice from in order to study. And if you want us to pay for your college degree, this is what you're going to do. We're not doing liberal arts. We're not doing basket weaving. We're not doing all of this bull crap. We doing stuff that's actually going to change the trajectory and allow you and guarantee you to be able to raise your kids in a place outside of the possibility of living in poverty. That's the truth. That's the data. That's the statistics. And that's what's really happening in society. So you can tell all of these people to go and chase their dreams all you want to. But the reality is that if you look at the statistics, we're last, almost dead last, almost number 70 on the census of the amount of money that we're generating in our households. Not individually, but in our households. We number 70. You can go and look it up right now.
And that's fine. I don't agree. And there's nothing that you're going to say, or no statistics.
You don't have to agree. The statistics are the statistics, Mom. Come on.
That's out. That's going to change my mind. So.
Okay, that's cool. Well, you couldn't argue.
And generational wealth, I already come from generational wealth. So.
Okay,
that's good for you.
Well, I'm a first generation millionaire and I got it out the mud and I did it the way that I'm telling other people to do it, because you don't have to be unique in order to do it. You just got to be intentional.
Okay. And no one never said I wasn't intentional. You saying, just running away with some dream, like it doesn't take work, like people just out there doing it willy nilly. You think people got to where all the people I talked about, you think they got to where they were because they was just hoping and making wishes? No, niggas was working. Niggas was putting in work.
That's good.
So, I mean, I get.
Well, I don't hang around niggas.
I get where you're.
I don't hang around niggas, so I don't.
I get where you're coming from because you didn't come from generational wealth and you didn't have a backup plan. You didn't have people supporting you like I did, so I get where you're coming from.
You have no idea what I had supporting me.
You just said you're first generation. You just said you're.
That don't have nothing to do with somebody supporting.
Did you or did you just not say you?
I am a first generation millionaire, but that has nothing to do with supporting me.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
So again. If you're first generation, that means that the generations before you did not achieve said success, correct? So they didn't have anything to hand down to you. You just said you had to go get it out the mud yourself. So what I'm saying is that
them being successful has nothing to do with being a millionaire.
Able to reach a certain place so that I would be able to actually,
which is exactly what's wrong with your mentality, because 80% of all millionaires are new millionaires.
I don't care. I'm not doing anything.
You don't care because you don't.
I'm not doing have a conversation. I don't want to do just.
Here's the reality. Here's the reality. And you're a woman. You're not a man. You don't understand what it takes to be a man.
So you do what
you do. Hold on. Stop for a second. Stop for a second. You're a woman. You're not a man. You don't know what it takes to be a man. That's A. B, 80% of all million. Stop. Just 1 second. Just let me kick it. 80% of millionaires are new millionaires. The majority of people that inherit wealth, they fumble the bag because they get in their emotions and they're not as disciplined and as focused as the people that actually generated the wealth that handed it to them. And that's why 80% are new millionaires, 80%, not 80%, but a little over half are immigrants. They come from nothing because they understand what it takes to be disciplined and to be intentional. Most people that inherit wealth, they fumble the bag. And generational wealth don't even mean what you think it is. What happens is, if you really understood how money works, what really happens is they prefer not to give it over to the federal government. So they do things like 1031 exchanges. They make sure that they avoid capital gains taxes. And what they do is they establish ways in order to be able to pass on wealth so that they don't give it to the government. And so their kids just by default inherit it. It's not because their kids were so awesome. It's because they didn't have anybody else to give it to. So actually, inherited wealth in most situations ultimately create a coddled environment where the person ultimately fumble the bag and they don't know what it means in order to work. They're handicapped. They need to understand. This is why men need to talk to men about what they need to do. Men need to go through things. They need to suffer. They don't need to be given their first car. They need to work for it. They need to understand what it means to appreciate certain things and go through certain things, because those are the experiences that they're going to have to carry with them as far as raising their family and being real men and being a solid rock. This ain't about how you feel.
It's not about feelings.
This is about what you need to do in order to be successful. It's a completely
I'm
different
not a man,
conversation.
so
You're not built for this conversation to be having with young men on telling them what they need to do in order to be successful.
Actually,
You're
because
not built
I'm
for
a
that.
part of a family business.
Fellas, don't
Okay?
listen to women telling you what you need to
at
do
the
in
end
order
of
to
the
be
day,
successful.
How is she a part of a family business when she says she followed that dream of becoming a dancer? So did she give up dancing and then she decided to join the family business? That doesn't make any sense. And this is why I wanted to know how much money she was making as a dancer, because even dancers who dance for Chris Brown, I don't think they're making $150,000 a year, because they get the perks of going to different countries, they get the perks of hotels, they get the perks of, and they'll usually just dance when he's going on tour. So that could be like 3 months or whatever, how long he goes on tour. So are those dancers really making money like that? I don't think so.
you cannot judge something you don't know about. Okay,
I just
you
did.
can say whatever.
How many people
want.
you coach? How many people have you made millionaires?
It doesn't. I don't.
How many people
that
have you
doesn't
made
matter.
millionaires?
That's not a part of it.
I got real life stories, real
that's
people that
great.
can come
And
on a
that's-
platform that can tell
and
you
that's-
exactly how I
and
helped them
that's-
become a millionaire.
And
This ain't make believe. I don't just talk out my ass. I'm talking real life.
Okay.
I help real people
Are you
become
gonna
millionaires.
stop?
No, I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna continue to advocate for these guys to stop listening to women that give them advice on what they need to do as far as leveling
Okay.
up. Don't
Is
listen
it
to
only
women.
is it only women in the audience, sir?
It's
Or are
only
there-
the men
are
that
there-
asked the
are there
question on this
women- are
platform.
there women in the audience
Men
as well?
jumped on here and cammed up and asked the question.
Okay,
You
and
gave
he's
them
gone
advice.
now.
I'm
He's
telling them
been
they're
gone,
wrong.
sir.
You
He's been
wrong.
gone. He's
You
been
wrong.
gone. I'm not.
It is what it is.
I'm not. That's your life, wherever you are.
No, that's real
It has
life.
nothing to do with me or my family business, all the people around me in the circles that I'm around that are also a part of family businesses that make millions of dollars. So you can say whatever you want to say. It's not going to affect.
Yo, everyone on the internet makes millions of dollars. Am I the only one who's broke? Can you guys, hey DJ Great Dan and Miss Mariam, since it's you guys in the chat, can you guys send me $1 million so I can also be one of these internet people who make millions of dollars? It seems to me like every woman on the internet makes millions of dollars. She's an entrepreneur. She makes 6 figures. The men are below her. I need to make millions of dollars. I don't know where they get them from, but I need some money too, man.
My life.
That's your argument?
I don't
That
need
it's
an
not going to
argument
affect
because
my
I don't
life.
have anything to
It's
prove
not
to
going to
you.
affect my life.
I don't have
Because
anything to prove
because
to you.
we was
Who are
having
you
a
to-
debate
who are
about
you?
how it is
Who are
that
you? What
men
is
need
that
to
gonna
move.
do?
What you mean, who are me? I'm the man. You better motherfucking Google me.
I don't have to do shit. I'm not.
Yeah,
you,
I'm the
you don't
man.
have
Who
anything
am
to
I?
do with
You
me.
ask who am I? I'm the man.
You, amen.
I'm that guy.
Amen.
I'm
That
that
has
guy.
nothing to do with me, my
I'm
life, my
I'm
family,
the
or our
man.
business.
I'm the man. Remember that.
Amen. And there are
I'm
many
the
of you
man.
all
And
over
when
the
you
world.
get off this stream, I'm gonna
There are
haunt you
many
in your
men-
dreams because you're gonna remember that I'm the man.
Sir, you're giving
I'm
yourself
the
too
man.
much credit. You really
Nah,
are. Maybe to
I
your
ain't
wife
giving-
you are,
nah,
because she's
no.
beefing your
To
ego
everybody
with all
I
the shit that
am.
you're talking.
To
But
everybody
to me,
I
I don't
am.
have any loyalty to you because I don't know you, so I don't care.
It don't matter. It don't make what I'm
It doesn't
saying any
matter.
less true.
It does.
I'm still the
Because
man. At
you're
the end of the
speaking
day,
in
you
you're
talking
speaking in
based off of something that your family helped you with. I'm
You're
talking about
speaking
something
in
I built out the mud.
anecdotals. No,
It's
no.
different.
What are you talking about? My mom built this shit out the mud, and I helped her. As a
You
kid.
not
but
your
you're not your
mom.
mom.
You
At the
not
end of
your
the day,
mom.
and I
You
took
said
on
that
this
your
family
family,
business.
your family helped you.
Yes,
Mine
I took on
didn't.
this
I
family.
got mine out
took
the mud.
on
It's
the
different.
family business.
And at the end of the day,
pursuing my
you
dreams,
still don't know
on the
what it
family
takes to be a man, and you can't coach a man on how to be.
Nobody
a man,
said I did.
ever.
We're not talking about manhood.
Then
or
stop giving
misogyny.
men advice. You're
Again,
not built
nobody's
like that.
talking to men specifically. There are women on
Yes,
the chat.
we
And
are.
Anyway, so this went on for another 8 minutes, as you can see. But this was a flashback when Anton Daniels used to be on La Pif. It was crazy. I used to enjoy those live streams, to be honest. But this was like the COVID time, man. Those were some. I mean, despite the way they locked us down and we couldn't move around, COVID was kind of a good time. Kinda, when it comes to the internet, because that's all we had to do. All you had to do is stay home. Maybe if you work from home, watch a bunch of Netflix. I think COVID time is the first time I literally had to get a Netflix subscription, and I think that time they dropped. What's the thing they dropped on the Ozarks? Did any of you guys watch the Ozarks on Netflix? It was during COVID time. Then there was another oh forgot, is it The Professor? There was another series on Netflix. I think it was about the heist. I think that was a heist during the COVID time, man. Because all you had to do was order food. Yeah, Ozark was fire. Ozark was fire for sure. I may have then all you had to do was order food in and just literally binge watch shows. So that was the only good thing about COVID time, apart from the depression we got from not moving around and not going to the gym and shit like that. Other than that, the internet was lit during COVID time, but anyway. All right, man. Will I be back tomorrow? No. I'll drop a pre-recorded video, but I won't be able to do a live stream tomorrow. But shout out to you guys for the support. DJ Great Dan, shout out to you. Shout out to Miss Mariam and all the ninjas watchers in the background. All right, till next time. Peace.